No.
You're live, it says. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a very special stream.
I'm alive.
We're
So,
live.
Here, okay, very first order of business, number one order of business, if you're in the chat currently. If we sound like super shitty right now, it is your moral obligation to tell us. Because last time, we sounded super shitty on the Terminator 2 episode, and for no particular reason, that video just got a lot of likes, or got a lot of views after we finished streaming on the VOD, and it has like 4 dislikes now, because it just sounded like garbage and nobody thought to tell us.
Or they just didn't like what we were saying.
Could have been that we were
And
being
if you do
censored for our
find the
beliefs.
people that hit dislike, you know to take care of that situation.
Right. And it's also
Silence them.
Also might have been that the title is slightly misleading, kind of makes it seem like we're showing the movie Terminator 2 on stream, which we weren't doing. Maybe we should be doing, but it wasn't what we were doing that time.
Well, just to be fair, that video only has like 2 dislikes, right?
I thought it had like 3 or 4 last time I looked at it.
Like when I checked, it was only 2. So.
Even still, for us, 2 is a lot, because we don't get a lot of engagement.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Okay, bit of reverb. I think that's fine.
Reverberant. Is that like... Somebody take it.
Okay. I can't get into it instantly, because we're not starting the real podcast quite yet. But
Okay.
we've touched in our personal Discord that we're chatting in about Pope Car from Cars 2.
Yeah.
And the fact that it seemingly canonizes some kind of car Jesus Christ. Some sort
or
of...
at least organized religion.
Yeah, some sort of car Jesus of Nazareth who died for our car sins. I don't know.
We can't do this like that. We can't. We gotta get 2.
I have so many thoughts just on this screen grab in particular. And once you're ready, I will be patient. But
Right. Okay, I think... Okay, let's see.
Why is everybody... Sorry, hold on real quick. In this picture that we put in the Discord, why is everybody in the background, everyone behind the Pope, looks very sad? Everyone is sad behind the Pope. What's happening in this screenshot?
They look like they just saw something shocking happen.
Yeah, is this the part where Michael
Bublé?
Were you about to say Michael the
Ethan
Cable Guy?
I do like Michael the
McQueen.
Cable Guy. Get them done, he says.
Oh my god.
Get it done.
Michael McQueen.
Finish it.
McQueen, my favorite car.
Imagine if Mortal Kombat, like, is just as you're about to pull off your finishing move, it's like, you're done!
I like that. I think
Yeah, hey,
Right.
NetherRealms, if you need some more ideas on maybe like different voice actors that you could sell for like $800 in DLC because you're Warner Brothers,
God, that'd be so weird.
yeah, come to me for advice.
Yeah, I got ideas.
Adeline, remind me how to adjust the volume of people in the Discord.
Go to Discord, and then you right-click their little icon, and then there's a fun little circle that you can move
Use the
around,
volume.
and you
Okay,
can move
got
the
it.
volume.
I'm gonna
My icon's the one with Patrick.
Yeah.
pull Dan down a little bit because I
Mine's a
value his
little frog
opinion
that
less.
says "hate yo ass" on it.
It hurts.
That just means you have to shout the whole time.
Yep, that's where we're going now.
Okay, Keisha goes.
Well, there
up
are a
little
lot of
bit.
cars looking sad at the sporting event.
Yeah, there are a lot of sad cars behind the Pope.
It looks like they just witnessed like the JFK assassination.
No,
This is in Cars 2, right?
That's in Cars 2, yeah.
So it's not when Lightning McQueen dies.
No.
Cars 3, no. I've got my 40-inch Cars 3 poster up on the wall right now.
Just, you know.
Oh, why does it have nostrils? Oh no. Cars
my
don't
God.
have nostrils.
This car is 1 row and 5 seats back from the Pope car, and I think that's too close. I think
Yeah.
that's.
I am worried for Pope cars.
I'm worried for their safety.
So, okay.
We found Satan car.
We're doing a lot of riffing
antichrist.
about an image that nobody in the stream can see.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. It's good. It's really
Okay,
good.
stream. Let me describe this for
Let me
you.
paint you
Picture
word
a car.
picture.
You know,
If you
a
will,
sedan.
picture.
Imagine a
Close your
car.
eyes. Imagine a blue sedan. Now imagine that blue sedan is cross-pollinated with a dying vampire.
What?
That's what it looks like to me. That's what I see in this picture.
Are you talking about like the
Not the
what's
Pope.
the movie called? No, not the Pope. Oh, Blade. Are you talking about like the vampires from Blade where they like get injected with the thing and then they like explode? Is
Turn
that what
into
you're talking
Cronenberg
about?
monsters.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Like,
think
they
just
get
like
they
in
have like
general.
allergic reaction to whatever the serum is and they
Right.
explode.
In the best movie of
It's
all
just
time,
that-
Blade.
In Blade. In Blade from Blade.
So this is a
you-
Blade podcast, isn't
Yeah, hello, welcome to the Blade podcast.
Yeah, I was gonna say now that we spent an entire episode of something else talking about cars, we're gonna spend our entire Cars episode talking about Blade.
Talking about Blade. Can we rollerblade while talking about Blade?
Oh, that's a fucking podcast idea. If we get okay, here's the pitch. Okay,
Alright.
obviously this is post-COVID.
Yes.
We all
Well,
we
it
get
could
as-
be during COVID.
maybe I don't know.
Sorry.
Are
We can be
roller rinks
smart
open?
about it.
My point is, we go to a roller rink. We get each of us like a clip-on lav mic. The three of us roller skating. Just try our goddamn hardest to speak coherently about Blade while rollerblading
Yep.
around in a circle.
And just
I don't
every
think
few
they-
seconds, you'll just hear the loudest thud of everyone just slamming their ass into the ground because rollerblading is hard.
Yeah, do they let you rollerblade in a roller rink, or is that just roller skates?
I guess
They're
that's
more
true.
expensive.
Because it would be really funny if we just did the whole thing in roller skates.
That would also be good, and just
Just-
pretend that we're rollerblading.
Yeah, it would lose the pun though.
And
Yeah.
but the best
Well,
part of it would be
you-
the fucking I don't know, Steve Miller band playing at full volume in the background.
While the greatest hits of the 80s
Yeah.
play in the background.
And also like every time we touch, I get this feeling. I've never gone rollerblading
And also, you
and
can't
not heard that
really
song.
and somehow you'll be able to hear how sweaty all the walls
Yeah.
are. Just there will be a sound, and I don't know how to describe it to you.
I really like the part in Blade where he's really good at Blade when they kill a vampire, it puffs up like a horrible, like a peep in a microwave. That's my
And then, like,
impression
a
of what that.
7-year-old like bumps into you, and you both fall down, and then 7-year-old starts crying, and then
Somebody gets their finger cut off.
yeah. Uh-huh. No, we're not
Yeah,
ice
well,
skating.
that's the Blade. You know.
That's
Yeah,
the Blade.
definitely
Oh,
a
wait, we're ice
podcast
skating and
The perfect medium.
Our dad always tells us that he saw a hockey game one time where somebody got their finger cut off by an ice skate.
But that
But
Star
it wasn't
Wars
during the
versus
game.
Mascots
It
hockey
was
game
not.
that we went to.
No, we weren't there.
I just wanted to talk about the only hockey game that you and I have ever been to was just one where it was Star Wars characters versus mascots.
That's not true, Adeline. That was a halftime event at a regular hockey game.
I don't remember the fuck all the rest of that hockey event. That's the only part I remember.
It was our cousin was playing hockey and we went to go see him.
I was like 6.
He was in a minor league
I was
hockey
not
team.
there for my cousin. I was there for Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Okay.
I want to make that abundantly clear.
As half Canadian, I really take offense to your lack of spirit for a hockey game.
By the way, I
Listen,
minimized the
Flames.
amount of transparent gifts on the stream this time because I started to get the feeling. I mean, look, there was a weird amount of dislikes on the last video, and it could have been for any number of reasons. Could it possibly have been that it looked like a fucking nightmare? Maybe.
Oh wait, so
I mean, this isn't scientific the way that you're approaching this.
I'm just
so
trying to
we're
fix
clear.
everything that might be wrong with the streams all at
Jax
once
is
because
just
now I'm
freaking out.
self-conscious.
Jax is gonna dye his hair a
could-
different color. He's gonna change his name.
This could be a butterfly effect thing, though, where you're just making it worse.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like,
Maybe that's what
I
they
liked
loved
the
about it.
gifts. That's the only thing I did like.
I could just imagine the angry comments. I thought they couldn't stoop any lower.
Hard to know.
So are we gonna talk about which president we think is hottest, or?
Oh wait,
Oh yeah, Dan. Who
But
do you think is the hottest president?
Abraham Lincoln?
Yes, correct.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
This is not correct.
I mean,
Yes, it
I
is.
don't agree, but I think Abraham Lincoln is top tier, and Keisha doesn't even think that Abraham
Keisha
Lincoln
does
is
not
top
think
tier.
that
I
Abraham
don't think
Lincoln
he
is
makes the
attractive.
podium.
And he is the podium. What are you talking about?
What are you, Adeline? What are you talking about? I can name
He's
10 presidents right now hotter than
he's
Abraham
a big,
Lincoln.
tall guy. He's got a good beard. He's got nice hair. You just wanna give him a big old kiss on the cheek.
He's rugged.
He's rugged.
He is
lives in a
rugged.
cabin. He
I
once
mean-
chased
Chop that
someone
wood.
down for like 4 miles to give them back a penny that they left at his store.
I mean, he was played by Daniel Day-Lewis.
He was played by
yeah.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
I watched There Will Be Blood for the first time a little while ago, and I can't help but think that maybe Daniel Day-Lewis is the most handsome man who has ever existed.
He is classically handsome.
Yeah, like, watching There Will Be Blood, he's not, like, sexy. He's just, like, perhaps, like, the most respectably handsome man who's ever walked this earth.
He's like a
I
surreal
recently
handsome.
Yeah, exactly.
I recently
Wait.
learned that young Frederick Douglass was actually pretty handsome, and now I don't know what to believe.
Okay,
I just
so
don't
I
know
brought
how to
this up. I
describe
brought
it.
this up with Anna shortly after we streamed last week, and her instant reaction. She had this like ready to roll. She was like, "Oh, Rutherford B. Hayes. Rutherford B. Hayes with a bullet." I was like, "Oh, okay. I guess we didn't even think about him." And I looked him up, and this dude is the fucking most beta male motherfucker I've ever seen in my life.
Hold on. This
That's
man
what the
does
B
not
stands for.
have, below his nose, he does not have a face anymore. He has a face that has been disintegrated into a beard.
Yeah,
I feel like if you took the beard away, he would look like the water spirit from Spirited Away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? That's what I think he would look like if you took the beard away. Like, it's just, there's nothing.
I mean, in fairness, the beard is a good look for him. But any picture you find of him without the beard, he, like, has the most diminutive chin and this weird receding hairline. And
Yeah.
he's just
No,
like...
it's because like the like mustache part of his beard is like fully going into the rest of his beard in the majority of the pictures that I see of him.
Yeah, I think he's just less handsome Ulysses S. Grant.
Is
Yeah.
she talking about young Rutherford B. Hayes? Because like he's kind of, I get that.
He's got like an Edward Cullen vibe in his
He
young
looks
it's
like
like
if
even-
you were like, here's my fan fiction drawing of like Victor Frankenstein, and you showed me a picture of young Rutherford B. Hayes, I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, I see that.
I can't help but think, like, even if I cherry picked the most attractive possible picture of Rutherford, our man Rutherford, I don't think he would even crack, like, A tier. He would be, like, B tier handsome at best. You know?
Yeah, he's not ugly.
And to be
Yeah.
like, that's the one, that's the hottest president, is absolutely insane.
I agree.
I hope
Yeah.
that Anna's
And
listening.
their head checked.
Yeah, and then freaking Taft. We already talked about Taft.
Right.
We don't have to watch.
Well, Gerald Ford kind of looks like Jack Nicholson.
We never did discuss Ford. Let's take a look.
And
I'm gonna be real
speaking
with
of
you.
Ford,
I forget how many presidents there are.
I don't
Five.
think we could really do a Gerald Ford. This guy never really had a good look, I don't think.
He does look like Jack Nicholson.
a little bit.
Young
Like, he's
Gerald
got like
Ford?
the
It's
facial
the
expressions.
eyes. It's like the very like
Yeah.
flat eyes, like on top.
But if you just
He
Yeah.
like
looks
do
like
a
Biff Tannen.
that's
Wait.
what I was looking for. He looks like
Hold
Biff
on.
Tannen.
He does
Yeah.
look like Biff. But hold on, there's a
And-
picture of like young him as like a football player. He's got like long blonde hair and he's got it going on.
Yeah, it looks
Right.
like
I
young Biff
know-
Tannen.
Yeah.
I know that this is a picture of him being sworn in, but it does look like he's about to hit me, so
It-
I'm a little scared.
There's very threatening presence.
But that hand doesn't look super threatening.
It looks like it does kind of look like somebody else's hand.
Oh my god.
Just not quite the right proportion.
Yeah, it's like a weirdly a little small.
Eat
I
your
want to
heart
talk
out.
about automobiles.
Okay, let's get into it. I'm gonna crack open my recording software.
Planes, cars, and
Oh, I should do that too.
automobiles.
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
Hold on. Hey, my computer, please don't restart everything right now. What are you doing? No.
I just finished my
Classic.
final paper for my film theory class, and I wrote it about title drops in movies, like when.
Okay. And what do you think film is?
Yeah. When, like, whenever they say the title of a movie in a movie, and
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
the effect that has, and like how it can be used. But as a result, that means that I went through and I counted how many times they said the word cars in Cars. And it wasn't as many as you would think. It was like 15
Yeah, they don't
times.
say cars a lot. They don't acknowledge cars.
Right. It was like 15 times. It was like a perfectly normal amount of times to say the word cars in a movie.
I feel like Bug's Life would be a lot different though.
Bugs. They don't even say. They don't even say Bugs Life, do they?
Yeah, I don't think they even say A Bug's Life in A Bug's Life.
But they do say bugs a lot.
Well, yeah.
This sure is a Bug's Life.
Man, look at this.
19. Why here?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. God, audition. Just
All right, should I start
fucking
recording?
isn't
Let's
working
wait till
anymore.
we're all ready, and then we can kind of start at more or
Okay,
less
I'm
the
gonna
same
use
time.
Audacity again, and then as soon as we're done record. What do you mean I can't close Audition?
You need to like uninstall Audition and re-download.
Yeah,
it or
literally, that's what
something.
I'm gonna do when we start recording. I'm just gonna like.
Because like I've never
obliterate
had a
Audition.
problem with it in my many years on this earth.
It just sometimes doesn't work at all for no reason. And Audacity also sometimes doesn't work at all, but you know, sometimes just gotta dance with the devil in the pale moonlight.
Where is my notebook? I have important thoughts.
You ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? That's my Jack Nicholson.
It's really good.
Thank you.
I just watched
That was
Doctor
your outpour.
Sleep.
Pretty good, right?
It's pretty good.
It was pretty good. But
Yeah.
I also had just watched Birds of Prey. So it was weird for me to see Ewan McGregor like 2 times in a row in really different roles.
Can my
And I watched Star Wars.
I think in the 2020 Oscars, I think this is maybe the only year it would be appropriate, but I would definitely hand out a Best Supporting Actor to Ewan McGregor in Birds of Prey. For certain.
Pretty good. I enjoy him in most roles.
Maybe in a normal year where there's a lot of normal movies coming out, he wouldn't make the cut. But this year, definitely Ewan
Anything
McGregor
could
should be
happen.
up there.
I just can't ever get past his American accent.
Oh, it's so good in that movie, though. I feel like that
I know-
almost makes it better.
No, here's the deal: is I know he sounds great, but there's something about his voice when it's in an American accent that doesn't line up with his face. I can't. I don't know what it
He
is.
just looks like he should have an English accent.
I know. Just too Obi-Wan, you know?
Right. What about in Beauty and the Beast? Do you have that problem when he's doing a French accent?
No, but also he was a candle most of the time, so
That's the thing.
Hard
That's my biggest beef with that Beauty and the Beast movie, is that it's like, oh, I'm Ian McGregor, and he's like an animated candle, and I'm like, okay, sure, fine, whatever. Like, he's just a disembodied voice that can handle this. But then, like, in the end of the movie, he shows up in the flesh as a real human dude, as Ewan McGregor in a stupid costume, and he's like, oh, I am alive again! And it is the worst.
husband!
I used to be
Give
a
me your
candlestick.
I used to
Yo,
be a
human
candlestick,
arms.
but now I am the man! And you're
I
like, no.
to go fuck in the maid.
But that's
Lord.
only for a little bit, so doesn't bother me as much as America.
About the French Revolution.
Okay, what are we all doing now? Are we almost ready to start?
Stuff on Tumblr. I've just been looking at that and not doing the things for some doing. Okay. I'm good to start recording.
Anybody
I
else?
am too.
Okay, cool. Then let's all go ahead and start recording in 3, 2, 1, now.
I already started recording.
Cool. Okay. It just means I'm gonna have to find the entry point through 4 minutes of you doing that French accent.
It
Okay.
wasn't. No, I started like 2 seconds
Okay.
before.
Okay. Okay.
Chill out, bro.
In that case, I'm gonna turn myself down just a skosh. Testing. I'm just testing my levels super quick. Aha. Oh wait. Hold on. Everybody stop recording for me super quick. Sorry. Go ahead and delete all that stuff. I don't have the right input selected.
Okay.
Don't you take that tone with me, Dan.
I will turn this car around.
Dan, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What's a cereal mascot you think you could beat the shit out of, and what's a cereal mascot you think would beat the shit out of you?
Gotcha. Okay. I'd like to beat the shit
Understood.
out of the Lucky Charms mascot
Mm-hmm.
Same.
because I think we're crossing into a new age when we can stop depending on leprechauns in media.
You know what I'm thinking about? I think there is truly only one cereal mascot I could not beat the shit out of, and that's Tony the Tiger.
That's the
think-
one that I
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
beat the
yeah.
shit out of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Tony
think
the
the
Tiger
rest of
would
them
rip your
are
ass apart.
like ants under my boot. I think I could just destroy them.
Here's my answer.
No,
I
okay,
did
I'm sorry. I need to beat the
Bird
shit
with
out of
pizza
the
basket.
honeycomb mascot.
Right, that's a good one too.
Oh,
Barrel?
that little monster thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the only
Hate
one
that
who is
thing.
like kind of a fair matchup would be like the wolf from Cookie Crisps.
Yeah.
What about Count Chocula?
Unhinged, and he's
Count Chocula's
also
a
kind
bitch.
of.
I could kick the shit out of that guy.
No, but he's insane, Jackson.
He's immortal.
He's
He's
crazy. I don't know what he's
unhinged.
gonna do. I didn't say I was gonna kill him.
I don't think you could beat him.
I'm just gonna rock his shit.
Mm-mm. What about Boob, like that Frankenberry? All of those scary.
Frankenberry might get me.
The purple Frankenstein man, he could probably do some damage.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Frankenberry.
Yeah.
He's
Jackson,
scary.
you're kind of quiet. Is that just me? Yeah, Jackson, you're kind of quiet.
Oh, okay. Copy that. Did I just become kind
Or-
of quiet?
When you were playing with your levels, you got very quiet.
Right. Okay. Yeah. How's this level?
That's a good level.
Okay. Perfect.
That's a good level.
Testing. Okay. Perfect. Okay. You guys ready to start
Just
recording now
remember-
for realsies?
Yep, for
Yeah.
real.
Okay. 3, 2,
Yaga.
1, go. We will do our sync. We'll go one word. Jackson, Adeline, Keisha, Dan.
Okay.
Cheese.
And
Dan.
Tiger.
Okay, hold on. I'm very confused.
I know it could have worked.
Let's try again.
Let's just go again. Okay.
so, one more.
Music.
And
Dan.
Like.
You guys suck ass at this. I'm just gonna say. That's plenty. I've got what I need. I just hope you guys are ashamed of yourselves.
You just didn't have the creative
Tiger
chutzpah to
again.
move forward.
I think this is Adeline's fault because she was the one who put weird ands in both times.
what
Yeah.
I want to see what Cheese and Dan had in common.
music and dance go so well together. Cheese, pepper, cheese, and noodles.
Can you maybe get closer to your mic, Adeline? You're kind of cutting in and out sometimes.
So, I got suspend audio.
Okay, say something clearly.
What's up, gang?
Okay, perfect. Okay, let's
How's-
start the. How do we start the Cars episode?
Life is a highway.
Do you guys remember that the Cookie Crisp mascot wasn't always a wolf? It used to be like a little wiener dog in a red shirt.
What the fuck?
Why
I
would a
don't
wiener
think
dog
that's
like
true.
cookies? I guess I don't know why a
Why
wolf
would a
like
wolf like cookies,
either, but
Jackson?
I just
Because
feel like
wolves
wiener
go,
dog.
"Ooh."
I feel like wiener dog has
not
a.
even
a different food connotation to me.
It's not even like
Do
the big
cars
bad
eat
wolf,
Cookie
Red
Crisp?
Riding Hood wolf. It's just like a dude. It's
It's
just
like a
the
freaky
Cookie
wolf.
Crisps wolf. Yeah.
He's just in a cereal. I just don't know why we're trying to limit who's allowed to like cereal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess. Was the
Tricks
wiener
are for
dog like
kids.
trying
Way
to?
to exclude a demographic.
Was he like trying to get the cereal like most cereal mascots, or
No,
was he
he-
just like I
Okay,
endorse
so
Cookie
there are
Crisp?
two
He's
kinds
just
of
like,
cereal
I like Cookie
mascots.
Crisp.
There are two types of cereal mascots. There are the thieves, who will stop
Yes.
at nothing to get their cereal, whether or
Right.
not it's branded with their face on it. For some reason, they have to chase it.
Mhm.
The other one is the advocate. So they
Right,
are
right.
tasked with giving their cereal to anyone and everyone who asks for it.
Yes, yes, yes.
Or people who don't
Get
ask for it.
their
Tony the
he
Tiger is a
was-
lot of time just going up to like tweens who are playing sports and being like, "Hey, check
want
it out! It's
cereal?"
like cornflakes, but
Yeah,
worse
it's like
for you."
90 degrees out. Time for some milk
You
and
want some
flakes.
milk?
Yeah, because it's
The-
part of their balanced breakfast.
The
So, hold on.
cookie,
Build strong bones.
the Cookie Crisp mascot was an advocate, not a thief.
Got it.
So hold on, I
Yeah.
see your two categories, and I raise you the Cinnamon Toast Crunch gremlins.
Yeah.
No, they're
Well,
advocates
those-
for themselves.
No,
because
they're killing each other.
They
also
literally can't
steal
help
one
but eat each
yeah.
other.
But
So they're both.
Yeah.
I don't think they
Because
belong
There
to
are
either
always
category.
exceptions.
I think Applejacks goes under thieves, because the
I think
apple
it's-
was always trying to get the cinnamon guys
Yeah, yeah.
stuff.
Okay,
Because
so
What about the corn pops?
Applejacks
Corn
taste
pops.
like cinnamon, not like apples, which is why Apple Man can go fuck himself, right?
I was thinking like mascots, but these mascots are mascots, but they're also ingredients.
Yeah.
Right.
So
is
that is
true.
a third. That is
But
the
they're
third.
excluding one of the ingredients, because that was the point of the Applejacks. That was the deep lore, right? Was that the cinnamon guy would always win, and that's why Applejacks taste like cinnamon and not like apples.
Right. It was like a
No,
Wile E.
it's just that
Coyote.
it's cinnamon forward because cinnamon is the
Yeah.
winner mod.
Yeah, because
I
he
would
would
forgot that
always
his name was
win.
Cinnamon.
Yeah, he would
That's
always fall
right.
into the bowl first, and then Apple would be like right after.
Yeah,
right?
and
But
we can
he's
all
still
agree
there.
that
But he's still there.
that Apple is a Republican, right?
Yeah, definitely for certain.
Yeah.
Anyway, my
Um,
name's Jackson McMurray, I guess.
Is that like McMurray?
My name is Keisha Rhodes.
My name is Dan Goldberg, not
Excellent.
the one that directed The Hangover.
Thank you
Wait,
for the
not yet.
clarification.
Todd Phillips directed The Hangover. Wait,
Sorry, not the one who produced The Hangover.
there we go. Okay, better. And this is No Nerds Allowed.
Cars. Did we bring that up?
Cars. You said life is a highway. It's fine.
I did say.
Ka-chow.
Hello, ka-chow.
Okay, so
Lightning
we're here.
McQueen could have been on the front of like a Wheaties box.
He could have. That was good promotion.
He's an athlete.
He
Yeah,
is.
'cause he's an.
That's
I'm
very
sure
true.
he's been on the front of a cereal box.
Do we count
At
them
some
as
point.
athletes, race car drivers? Like, no, right?
No, they are athletes.
Or
I've talked about this a lot with my dad.
cause they're not the Olympics.
'Cause
And
here's
that's
the thing-
what
here's the thing that
defines
bothers me
athletes
about
as
it.
being in the Olympics.
Is that they don't seem to get tired when they drive fast. That doesn't seem to be a part
No.
of it.
No. It's because. So here's another thing. So they have gas, which you would think, oh, when they run out of gas, that means they're like tired. But that's never an element, because Lightning McQueen runs out of gas, and he still is
Mhm.
like talking and sentient and stuff. So it's not a
And
life
Mac
source.
is driving while he's asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not a level of tiredness. It's not a source of life. They kind of it like a food that like it's just like a food, but that doesn't make any sense either. Because if you don't get food, you die. But that doesn't seem to be when they run out of gas. They don't die. They just
I would argue
lose
it's
the
just
ability
not
to
a.
walk.
It's just not a one-to-one relationship to anything that humans have going on. Their ability
Yeah.
to ambulate is tied to their fuel, but their regular thing is just like, I don't know, they just exist. Maybe it's electricity. Maybe it's you have to wait for their batteries to die. Before
Maybe
they
they're
pass
all
out.
Teslas.
No,
Do we ever
They
think
are
about
not.
that?
Gas
It is
engine
the
cars have
distant future
batteries.
or the distant past. What was that Pixar timeline?
Okay, so that
This was the
let's
first
start.
time that the world ended, right?
Let's start there. I've got the Pixar theory timeline pulled up in front
Okay,
of me.
perfect.
I've got
Okay,
it.
say it to me once, and then I'll remember it forever.
Perfect. So I've got a sufficiently abbreviated version of this here. So I'm just gonna read this off straight off PixarTheory.com. First installment, Brave. It all starts with
Okay.
Merida discovering the will of the wisps (magic). The magic turns her mother into a bear. This magic is why animals and inanimate objects (brooms and tools) behave like humans. Magic was utilized by a witch who mysteriously vanishes through wooden doors. Eventually, the magic from the will of the wisps would lead to the birth of superheroes.
Mhm.
Any
Okay.
commentary, or should I move on to The Incredibles?
No, that all adds
Just
up.
keep on going.
Okay, The Incredibles. Superheroes maintained order in the world, but Buddy, a wannabe superhero, created two things for the demise of superpowered humans: self-serving AI bots like the Omnidroid, and the high-tech zero-point energy (electromagnetic energy) that exists in a vacuum. This is the pivotal moment where we see machines eradicating their only threat, supers. Eventually, toys start to absorb and draw their powers from zero-point energy, unseen, that travels in wavelengths.
Oh, okay. Wait, so that's not, it's not magic, it's science.
It's
We've
science.
established that magic exists, but it's the science is what's the toys.
Right, it's
Well,
syndrome.
magic and science are one and the same. If you
You're right,
watched
you're right.
Thor, you would know.
I'm
So
so
if
sorry.
Andy had a single superpower, Buzz Lightyear would have murked him day one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's complicated because they'd already formed a relationship. That's what
Not
the
day
Pixar
one.
magic is all about.
Not day
Ah.
one.
Okay, Toy Story.
No, that's true.
The first signs of life from toys are now present due to Syndrome's technological powers. Toys, sentient objects, come up with a code of rules and learn that human love is another energy source upon which they thrive.
Oh my god.
These toys discover what happens to toys that are isolated from humans.
What?
Yeah, suck it, Bo Peep.
Yeah, get fucked.
Toy Story 2, the toys discover that it is dangerous for them to be isolated from humans. We start to see inanimate objects question their purpose in life. For example, Jessie resents her owner, Emily, for abandoning her. Resentment towards humans was not only carried by inanimate objects, but by animals as well. This is where
Wait,
things
hold
get
on.
crazy.
Wait, wait, hold on, really quick, before we get crazy. Is it implying that if toys aren't around humans, they like lose their lives slowly?
It's implying that love is the energy that sustains them.
Okay, I don't buy that, but please continue.
Okay.
I thought that was a different form of energy that sustains them. Kind of like how in Monsters,
yeah.
Inc., they could use screams, but laughter is actually a better form of
Right.
energy.
So now
they
we
don't
get
need
to
love.
2003 in the timeline. I haven't been mentioning the years. Brave takes place 14th century, Incredibles 1950s through 60s, and now we're at 2003 with Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
In the ocean, we find that fish are incredibly advanced. They have schools, a network, and freeway system. We discover that humans are polluting the earth and experimenting on them. Dory was one of the animals that was experimented on, which is why she is forgetful. There are signs of-
That's not even canon.
There are signs of resentment growing towards humans for polluting the environment, stealing fish, and caging them. Animals begin to be more curious and carry more humanistic characteristics. Can you see where this is headed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ratatouille.
So if I
Incredibles
already
too.
have a reason why this isn't going to work out, should I just voice it now?
Sure, go for it.
I mean, Doc Hudson won the Piston Cup in 1951, so.
Okay.
Yeah,
2007,
got 'em.
Ratatouille. In Ratatouille, Remy discovers his love for cooking and displays human characteristics. Some of them are, walking on his hind paws, cleaning his hands, reading, and cooking.
Yes, please tell me what makes Remy the rat more like a human in this animated film.
This
please.
is the first time we see personal interaction between human and animal, but it is for the purpose of controlling humans. Remy
Oh my God.
controls Linguini because Linguini does not know how to do anything. We see that
Linguini does
Remy's
fucking
rat
suck.
clan. We see that Remy's rat clan does not approve of the humans and feels both fear and hate towards them.
You know what Linguini does know how to do? Roller skate.
He does.
I thought
Oh, that's right.
I thought Ratatouille took place in like the 60s.
Nope, 2007.
No. Not a cell phone in sight.
Toy Story 3. 3 years later, this is 2010. 3 years later, toys have gone through a lot with humans. If you've seen the movie, you can tell why most of the toys have had it, being abused physically and emotionally by humans.
The person writing this, I think, is projecting a lot. Like,
Lotso the
is
Huggin'
this
Bear.
person okay?
Lotso the Huggin' Bear straight up hates humans because they use and discard toy objects like they are nothing.
But he's the villain.
He starts trying to take care of his own kind. This provides yet another reasons why machines and objects alike are ready to take over.
Wait, hold on. Lots of Huggin' Bear was not taking care of his own kind. He was creating a monopoly where he could stay on top for his entire life. He used and abused his fellow toys. That was the whole point of Toy Story 3. And also in fucking Ratatouille, the point is by the end of the movie, the human rats are buds and they're getting along. So this person's just straight up wrong.
So here's something that's fascinating at the end of this Toy Story 3 section. Carl and Ellie from Up write to Andy telling him to get rid of his toys because they know the animosity between toys and humans is coming ahead, and that's why they are planning on living in solitude.
How did we take this long to get here? Crossover? That's incredible.
Who's the author of this timeline?
It's the same guy we were talking about last time, the guy who wrote a book about it.
Is this the same timeline where the world ends like 3 times?
Yeah, we're getting there.
I thought that timeline started with WALL-E, and that's why it was such a galaxy brain take.
No. We'll get there. We're
Okay.
halfway through, and the rest of them are shorter.
Okay.
2011, Up. Carl is forced to give up his house to a corporation, BNL, because they are expanding the city. This is foreshadowing. It's not. This corporation is the cause for polluting the earth and wiping out life in the distant future as a result of technology overreach. Carl discovers that animals can communicate with humans and sees the bitterness that they have. Charles Muntz effectively trains an army of dogs. This is the start of the tipping point between animals and humans. Years later, the uprising between animals and humans begins. Who do you think won that war?
Well, because humans are the worst. I assume it was the animals.
Will you guess the next year listed?
2020, baby.
2100.
Oh.
Okay.
Cars.
Different.
Oh.
When animals rose up against the humans to stop the pollution, the machines saved the humans and they won the war. However,
because of love.
Since machines helped humans win, it tipped the balance on Earth. Machines / the BNL Corporation had to send the remaining humans off into space on a ship called Axiom. All of the other machines were left behind to populate the world and run things. But how do we know cars took over?
Pop Jackson, populate?
Populate, But
Okay,
how do we
cool.
know... This is hilarious. But how do we know cars took over Earth and not another planet?
Oh, you're right.
Cars 2. In Cars 2, they go to Europe. That's how.
Wow, yep,
California.
Which is
Where's
hilarious.
Route 66? Mars?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
It shows also that there are no humans throughout the world. The world at this time ends up with an energy crisis, as oil is the only energy used for cars. All in All Corporation was using green energy as a catalyst for a fuel war in order to turn cars away from alternative energy sources.
Wait, isn't that actually the plot of Cars 2? Because
Yes.
Cars 2 doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
The clean fuel could have been used to swiftly wipe out many of the cars. All in All was run by the BNL Corporation, which eventually polluted the whole Earth due to its use of oil. The whole world becomes unfit to sustain life. WALL-E, that makes sense. The year 2800.
Sure, why not?
So this is just what you... I'm gonna kind of skip over this one because it's just like, yeah, it's WALL-E. The humans live in space and WALL-E's on Earth.
If you haven't seen it, please see it. It's a great movie.
It's a
Good
good
one.
movie.
The year 2898.
Okay.
A Bug's Life.
Fuck, that's right.
Human Bug's Life.
That same plant we see in Wall-E grew to be a tree in A Bug's
No,
Life.
this is bean sprout, a-hole.
Insects have a longer lifespan in A Bug's Life. Prior to Wall-E, an ant can last just 3 months. However, in A Bug's Life, these ants all survive an entire summer and allude to being around for quite some time. One ant states that he feels 90 again. This indicates that ants are sturdier as a result of evolution and mutated genes. Another ant tells Flick not to leave the island because there are snakes, birds, and bigger bugs out there. They do not mention humans because there are very few humans to make it dangerous enough for insects to worry about.
Well, he goes to the trash city. That's all made. Like, there, you see the humans.
You
in,
see
like, the cut.
footsteps.
However,
Yeah.
one kid did allegedly pick the wings off of the homeless bug. Later in the distant future, animals start evolving into the dominant species.
Hold the fuck on. Are they implying that these are animals that have evolved to be like humans, but they're not humans?
Yes.
Yeah, like humans with no dads, but who
Are
had
these the
brothers who
cat
acted like
boys that the
dads.
government is trying to keep secret?
The year 4500.
Fuck,
We
dude.
skipped right over the year 3000,
Yeah.
so the Jonas Brothers have nowhere to visit to.
Oh, man.
I see.
Monsters
Convenient.
University. Hundreds of years after Wall-E, animals started changing due to the radiation caused by the BNL Corporation. These animals
God.
evolved into monsters and accidentally wipe humans off the face of the planet.
No, they don't. They're
Where are they getting their
intrinsic
energy
to the
from then?
universe.
Monsters University was founded in 1313. This is dated using the Monsters calendar, not the human calendar, and shows that it took place almost 1400 years after A Bug's Life. At Monsters University, they falsely taught the monsters that humans were toxic and from another dimension. This was because monsters were worried about being erased from existence and altering history.
What?
Final-
I miss
What?
Final-
Wait, why is there time travel now?
Okay, there's 2 slides left. The year 4500, Monsters Inc. Monsters and machines didn't realize their mistake of getting rid of humans until it was too late. They eventually realized that humans were their source of energy and needed to sustain life. Machines help solve this by letting monsters use doors to time travel to the human generation. This leads us ... to Boo. All right, here's where it all
Oh
comes
my
together,
God.
you guys.
Yeah, and she's the monster lady from Brave, and she traveled back in time and blah blah blah.
Sweet little Boo never got over Sully and became obsessed with finding out what happened to him. She remembered that doors are the key to finding Sully. Later on in life, she figured out how to time travel, parentheses, using wooden doors, and goes back to the source of all magic, the Will of the Wisps, and creates magic to find Sully by using wood. Boo leaves evidence behind in Brave, 2 carvings whittled out of wood. They're Sully and the pizza truck, the 2 things she loves most in life.
I also love those things.
Although
And the pizza truck.
Although she knows how to travel through time, she does not know how to determine what time period she will go to. Therefore, speculation has it that Boo is the one planting the Easter eggs throughout all the Pixar movies, because she has been accidentally going through different time periods.
Okay, hold on. So we start this timeline by establishing magic, and we never fucking get back to magic. It's all
No, magic just
stupid-
exists.
Magic is in...
Bullshit
No,
science.
I just told you this, Adeline. I wish you
Yeah,
fucking
she created
listened to
it
me.
after she went back in time.
The
No,
magic...
the Will of the
beginning.
Wisps are the source of all magic.
So,
But
okay, and
the
there's one last
doors
thing.
were made
One
by
last thing.
robots.
One last thing. Boo discovered that wood was the source of energy all along. In
Oh
Monsters
my-
Inc., they use doors made of
It wasn't
wood
love.
because it has the magic energy to travel in time. The wood from A Bug's Life is the source of Flick's ingenuity. I don't know what that means, but whatever. That tree bears a resemblance to the one in Up that Carl and Ellie visited. This tree was the source of Carl's wild idea of balloons transporting his house.
When do they go? Wait, that tree
Ah,
that
yes.
picnic underneath?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Are you sure it wasn't his wife who inspired him? Not even a little bit?
It was the tree.
Were
It
you-
was
No,
the
it was a
magic from the
tree.
tree.
Oh, it's the magic tree?
No,
Okay.
the tree reminded him about balloons.
Gotcha. Uh-huh.
They called
Yeah,
it
that's
love,
how they
but it was
met,
really,
because of the tree.
really tree
So
magic.
Carl broke his arm, and then Emmy, she took a tree and she put it in his room for him to make him happy. And then
Mhm.
when he builds his house to get out of there, he puts a tree on top of his house,
Uh-huh.
and then it flies away.
Then they just
Remember
put a little addendum at the end, which just says that, why did the witch turn Queen Eleanor into a bear in Brave? This was Boo's failed attempt at bringing Sully back. The bear
No, it wasn't.
somewhat resembles Sully.
No, it doesn't.
She was like, I know what I'll do. I'll just wait here in the woods until some poor little girl is having a fight with her mom. I'm going to give her a cake that will turn her mom into my friend from my childhood.
Yeah,
Ha 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 ha.
But then she just turns her into a regular bear.
Yep, uh-huh.
Yeah, she doesn't know how
As
to do
well as
magic.
her 3 children.
Yep, uh-huh.
So, but the thing about this whole theory
So were those supposed to be
Is-
like little Sullys?
is that it's only relevant up to 2013. It does not appear to have been updated since then.
No.
I want to see how Soul fits in there.
Yeah, so hold on. Pixar filmography, what are we missing? It's going to be our responsibility now to fill in the blanks, okay?
Oh, so it's gonna be Finding Dory, which totally destroys
Debunks.
this whole
Yeah.
Dory was abused as a child theory.
Okay, so the movies we're missing. First of all, Inside Out doesn't really need explaining, right? It just takes place during
No,
human
Jackson,
time.
it's because the girl, her house is made of wood, and that's why all
Right.
of her feelings have emotions.
Yeah. Her
That's why
emotions
we all have
aren't
magic inside of
actually emotions, they're actually machines. They're
No,
nano
the will of
machines.
the wisps that possessed her because Boo wanted Sully to visit this little girl. And so she put will o' the wisp magic in her head because of the wood.
Oh,
Yeah,
this is
magic
okay.
wood.
This is a take I have heard before, though. The Good Dinosaur. Because this movie posits that dinosaurs were actually very intelligent, at least briefly. So instead of making it magic, the Good Dinosaur is the reason why animals are so smart in the future.
Just
Okay.
because they are.
Yeah, just because they are.
Just because they be like that.
Which I like better than because of the fucking witch from Brave.
Yeah. What?
No, not even that, because of Syndrome from The Incredibles.
Yeah, and we never get back to the toys ever. We stopped talking about the toys.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was that the toys turn into the cars. That's where that technology
Okay, guys,
stems
here's
from.
my theory. So the good dinosaur died because he was a dinosaur.
Yes.
And eventually
we all know that
humans
only
dug him
dinosaurs
up for
die.
fossil fuels and they put them in Lightning McQueen and he came to life.
From the magic
And he
of the
had
good
the power of
dinosaur.
love.
He was full of them wood.
Of that good
Dinosaurs
dinosaur.
are canon
Yes,
in
no, 'cause the dinosaurs
Cars.
eat leaves,
Yeah,
which
that's
come
true,
off of
Dinoco.
trees, which are made of wood.
And
Anyway, the Pixar theory is stupid, and I
wait,
don't
but
know
wait.
why they need to connect all of the Pixar movies
but
together.
wait, so it all makes sense so far. But here's the
Yeah.
greatest challenge, okay?
Have we been talking for 45 minutes?
It
Yes.
doesn't make sense so far. It
Here's
never
the
makes
greatest
sense.
the greatest challenge is Onward, okay? How do we feel about Onward?
I
like that movie. That's a
the
good movie.
year
Right,
4000.
but how do we make it
That's the
fit?
year 5000.
So that's post monsters. Post monsters we
Yes.
turn into elves.
No, the monsters turn into elves.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Well, there are
That's it, we saw.
also just straight up monsters in Onward, right?
It's made out of wood, Jackson.
The staffy
magic
is made out of
wood.
wood.
The
Yeah, I
magic
thought that's what
wood.
the
Fuck.
connection was.
Yeah, okay.
I thought that's why they brought it up.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, they meant that in Onward. That's why they did
It's
that.
not that wood, it's just like a naturally occurring element. And
No.
Yeah, isn't it like the
In the
crystal
world,
that
no
is
one
in the
better-
wood?
No, it's
in
the
Onward.
wood.
yeah, or it's just that someone is magic and that they use the staff to like as a
And so-
conduit.
Wait, so Boo in the ancient past got
Is
really
the
bored.
staff.
So no, she got really bored in the past. So she invented Dungeons and Dragons,
Ah.
and then she
Time
brings it
travel
back.
to the distant future.
Yeah, and then she teaches the children about Dungeons and Dragons.
That's good.
Hoping to
With her
summon
pieces
Sully.
made of wood.
All this for her friend she met when she was 3.
Yeah.
I love how the author put it. Still not over Sully. Like,
when are we gonna get that Pixar short film about Boo as like a 19-year-old fresh out of high school, and she goes to her first college dorm room, and like she sets everything up, and she's just got fucking like news articles and connecting them, and like
Yep.
trying to connect the
I'll
dots
find
between her imaginary friend as a kid and the power to time travel.
It's
Yeah,
just like,
she's-
it's wood. It has to be wood.
she's like majoring in like just astrophysics,
Yeah,
just trying to
exactly.
figure everything out.
Quantum
String
mechanics.
theory.
And then that's how we get attached to Interstellar.
Yeah.
Fun fact: Interstellar does exist in the Pixar universe.
And then every other movie ever made.
Yeah.
Thanks to Pixar, thanks to Boo the Witch.
Perfect. This is a good
And this
show.
is all part of Cloverfield, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
This is all one Cloverfield title.
Yeah.
So okay, if I can,
Pixar theory, Cloverfield.
let's go around the horn and just when it comes to cars, how do you feel real fast? Adeline, cars, thumbs up, thumbs down.
I think here's the thing. I like Cars. Cars is a solid 5 out of 10 for me. There are parts of it that I really like, and parts of it that I really don't care for, and parts of it that I think have aged well, and parts of it that I don't think have aged well. And it's like it's a good movie. I like it. I enjoy it, but I don't think it's an amazing film. I don't know. I don't find Cars very endearing, but I find like the world that they build and like the sets and like the areas that we're in are so fucking endearing and fucking beautiful. Like it just makes me want to go to Disneyland because of how much love that they put into like Cars Land. Like the stuff, like the environment is amazing. But like when you get to like the character design, the fact that they're all just cars kind of doesn't do it for me.
No, they're not all just cars. There are helicopters. There are trains.
And there are planes.
There are
Camper vans.
There are so yeah.
Trains.
There
The
are
fact
so.
that they're
Does
all
that,
just vehicles with eyeballs and weird teeth don't do it.
but there
for
are
me.
also flies that are cars.
Yeah.
True.
So here's
Little
the
things
And
with wings.
there are also flies that are flies.
Yeah, there are both.
Yeah.
of
So
them.
Wait, where are there regular flies?
In the preview,
there's-
remember when Lightning McQueen flies into the thing of bees? He's got bees all over his face.
But maybe those were car bees. You couldn't see them.
No. There's a scene where he's following his love interest in the first film, and they're like out in the countryside, and she flashes him a smile, and he flashes her a smile back, and he has
Right.
real ass flies in his teeth,
got bugs
in
in his
his
teeth.
not car teeth.
Yeah.
also he has a tongue.
Yeah. No.
Right.
Yeah.
The tongue. I sort of thought about the tongue for the first time today when I was watching the movie.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. Here is my big take about Cars. Is that I think the final... Cause this has been a joke for forever, that they literally don't need to be cars. They could just be people with race cars. Like, there's no reason for them to be cars. The fact that they're cars has nothing to do with the plot. And it's like... It's because a majority of the Cars fandom... majority, if not all of the art and fandom is humanizing the cars so that they're more relatable and easier to like use as characters. Like the people who love your movie don't want them to be cars, they just want them to be people. Like it's just as soon as I was watching the movie, as soon as I just like started imagining them as people in my head, I like liked it so much better.
I understand, and I have a lot of theories on this too. But we'll get
Okay.
around to that.
Well, now's the time, Dan. If not now, when?
Okay. All right. Well, okay. First of all, I love Cars. The first movie, excellent. Instant classic. Really enjoy it. Despite Larry the Cable Guy, it's really good.
Michael
The
Cable
second
Guy.
one, Buck Wild, stupid. I hate it. It's perfect.
Yeah.
The third one, it's fine. But what I notice is you'll look in the background of like so many scenes and you'll just see normal apartment buildings built for humans, and you'll see so much architecture that only would work for humans.
Right.
So the constant thing that everybody thinks is like, oh, there was some sort of doomsday event and the cars took over and this is just the land that already existed. But I have a different theory, and it actually goes into the real world. It connects. It's a meta theory.
Okay.
So I think that this whole trilogy, despite the Pixar timeline, that's garbage. This whole trilogy takes place in another dimension that humans cannot properly fathom.
Okay.
Anytime that there is any sort of discrepancy in which a car would be interacting with something that a car couldn't, like a juice box or something else that humans like, I can only think of juice boxes. Every time
That's kind of all
our
we got going
brains
for
make
us.
the connection to make it some sort of sight gag in which the car is doing the funny car thing instead of the funny human thing.
I like this a lot. So what you're implying is that it's like the Percy Jackson, Rick Riordan, why don't people see the mythological beast? It's like our brains are just substituting in a pun that we would understand instead of actually showing us.
Exactly.
The eldritch horror of how cars
okay.
operate.
I'm on
Here's
board with
how
it.
I'm struggling though. Does that mean that like Sarge the Jeep was involved in World War II?
Wait, are there guns in this universe where they killed other cars?
But like all of the cars, they like reference temporally like the 60s and the 50s.
Right.
Like, does that just mean that they are participating in those events and then going off and doing their own lives afterwards? Or what is happening?
I think that this alternate dimension is an offshoot of our reality. And while they are all presented as cars in our mind's eye, that's because it would confuse us too much to see an alternate reality that mirrored perfectly our own. So we imagine them all as cars.
I would also maybe argue
all those things did happen, but once they're out of view, they no longer pertain to the car analogy here. So like every time you see an apartment building in the background, you'll still have Mater like sipping on a giant gasoline tub in the foreground. It is just our perception. And if we saw Owen Wilson and Owen Wilson saw himself on screen as Ka-Chow, Lightning McQueen, he would go insane. So our mind automatically, like the way it erases your nose from your vision, it turns Owen Wilson into a vehicle.
So is the Cars universe? Wait, I have something important to say.
No, you can go first.
Lightning McQueen has a lot of physical discrepancies from the other cars. He doesn't have any rear view mirrors. He doesn't have any lights. He has stickers, blah, blah, blah. Does that mean that he's just a horribly misshapen, mutated person and we're not seeing that? Like he's missing body parts that we don't see?
No, they're just parts that he doesn't need in our mind's eye.
I think it's eugenics. I think he's been bred specifically for combat.
To be perfect, yeah.
That's like if he was a swimmer and they said, we're going to cut off your ears because you don't need your ears.
Yeah.
No, he's just been systematically bred over generations to have as little of ears as possible.
But he wasn't bred, he was built. They said, hey,
in our
some lights if you want.
So my question about this theory is, so the animators who made the movie, they weren't animating cars, they were animating the thing that we couldn't comprehend, and our brain is saying that? Or the animators
They are animating cars.
Okay.
This is an interpretation of what they would have seen if they had,
it's like
it is still fiction.
Okay, yeah, it's not a documentary, not yet at least.
It's like the Bible. It's like it's divinely inspired. Like these animators are just a conduit through which they're trying to express what they've experienced.
So, and there are a lot of things that add up. Like you said, like you have like World War II vets. You have actual murder. So there is fear of death, even though cars are constantly rebuilt. They age and naturally die, like Doc Hudson.
Right.
Yeah.
So all of this doesn't add up with their physiology, which is funny because all of these things that don't match up to their physiology, they don't work as sight gags, so they don't appear on screen. So everything that happens off screen, you have to imagine is not cars. Everything that happens on screen, you have to imagine as cars. So if Lightning McQueen talks about the dinner that he had last night in one scene, you have to imagine that he was a human eating dinner,
Okay.
and it's fuck wild,
about
but it
when,
works.
So
What about when Fred has his rusty bumper fall off of his face?
that's
What
you're
happened
right.
there?
He's just got
It's-
leprosy.
Yeah,
What of
it's
it?
just
So
fucked
is
up.
it? So Ryan works for a company that makes ointment for people who have leprosy, but he's
Yes.
fine with like walking around and being in contact with people with leprosy.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
leprosy that common in this universe?
Yeah.
Well, they clearly live in a utopia. Well, no, because Cars 2 happens, so it's
Yeah.
not a utopia.
There's still a Secret Service and a CIA.
Yeah.
His best friend has leprosy then, and he's just fine with it.
I think it might be just a different kind of leprosy, you know? Like not the leprosy that you and your grandpa told you about.
Not the leprosy that we know.
This is
Not
the
our
new leprosy.
Yeah.
New
Your kids are gonna
leprosy
love it.
too.
Yeah.
Just semi-debilitating.
So we have like other things that are confirmed, like Christianity, because there's a
Right,
car
right,
pope,
right.
and there's a car pope car, which is
Mhm.
interesting because you'd think that if you okay, I just want to get off track here for a second.
Okay,
When
I
they were
guess.
animating the movie, they were writing these storyboards out and everything, and they were thinking, okay, we have this scene set in Italy. We should have the Pope there, right? Like, oh yeah, that's so funny. He's got the Pope car. Yeah. Why didn't they just make the Pope car?
Honestly, I
Because-
think the gag of the Pope car being inside of a car that is the Pope car is pretty funny. I think that's a good bit, right?
It is that I think it's funnier, but I just wanted to know what that like meeting sounded like, because like there must have been some people who were like, oh yeah, the Pope car is the Pope, and then somebody's like, no, the
Pope
Pope
goes inside
car
the Pope car.
is the vessel in which the Pope, who is a car,
Resides.
hangs out on.
Yeah.
That brings me to my other question. So
Yeah.
the Pope car.
Yes.
The Pope car.
The Pope car.
Yes.
He is specifically designed to move around the Pope. And there are
Yeah.
other cars who are specifically designed to do different things, like changing tires, whatever. Does that mean that there is no free will in the Cars universe, and that whatever they are designed to be is what they are destined to be?
No, 'cause
There-
McQueen
there are
doesn't- does
actually-
the opposite.
Yeah, and there are actually moments, I think, in dialogue, if I'm remembering correctly, that cars talk about how certain cars actually changed up their build. Like, this car got this so that he could race. Like, there is a certain degree of, like, customization, but that's a great question because, like, what is it, Luigi? He's the one that changes the tires?
Right, yeah.
What,
Yeah.
what are you going to modify him into? Like, what kind of life could he choose that
Right.
isn't just the life he already has?
Maybe you can just
So
get your
that's a
mind
great question.
transplanted.
But
Yeah,
that's my other
that does
question.
happen.
Is
What?
what makes the car the car? Like, where does their brain
Where's
come
their
from?
soul?
Because because they can
It's not in
remove
the
their
eyes.
tires. Like, well, Lightning McQueen in Cars 3 has a horrible accident. He's torn to shreds, but he's still Lightning McQueen after they give him, like, could they replace his engine? Is that what the brain is?
So actually, the Pope thing solves this because while you might say that like Christianity technically, it's the jury's still out in our universe. Like some people believe in different ways, but in Cars, we are expected because it is put right in front of us on screen that the Pope is real, that Christianity is real, and so the cars just have souls and they reside somewhere.
Okay, hold
Because
on.
of
What I thought.
The,
No, hold
Where
on.
is
because
the
the
line?
Judeo-Christian
What
God
is
is
Okay,
the
Jesus
no,
line?
Christ.
fucking shut up. So what I
What?
thought that you were saying was that because the Pope is like the Godhead, he's like God physical, right? In some way, shape, or form, he is like a voice of God. What
The
I
voice of
thought
God,
you
yeah.
were saying was that they took the Jesus car and just kept taking him apart and rebuilding him as the Popes. That's what I
No,
thought you were going to say.
no,
That this
no,
Pope
no.
car
Does that
has
mean that
pieces of Jesus car in him.
Was Jesus' car crucified? How do you crucify a car?
You work real hard. I don't know.
No, my question isn't do cars have souls? My question is where does the soul reside?
Right.
Because if
If
you
it's
can
not the
remove the door,
engine.
if you can remove parts of the engine, if it's the engine, Mater's rolling around with his brain just exposed
Just hanging
constantly.
out.
Like, Keisha, you have just combined the brain and the soul, and those are two very different
They're
things.
very
Well,
different.
that's a conversation that I've had with lots of people, and we can talk about it later if you want. But I just want to know. I want to know
I would
when is it
argue
not?
that Pope Car posits that the soul lives within one's spirituality, so it's not actually tethered to their physical body.
Okay, but so where does the car's consciousness reside then? Because if you could take out their engine and they're still the same car, then at what point do they stop being themselves? At what point do they
At the
stop
point
being
where it
conscious?
starts
Or
to make
die.
sense to the human brain.
But
because
that
we're
would be the
only
engine, and we've
we're not
decided that
thinking
that's
about these
wrong.
as discrete, like uncomprehensible beings, right?
Right.
We're talking about them
exactly.
as if they're cars with car parts, but they're not. There's something else, and we're just
No,
expressing
they're
them as
horrors.
cars.
And
Right.
it's just the best way that our brains can translate. And oftentimes our brains fail to find a consistent way to translate each time. So like Lightning McQueen crawling up into the Mack truck in the first movie
I love
to
how
be
you
like
described
brought
that.
across the house. Like, is that sexual? I don't know.
Okay.
But that is the creators' take on this universe. They did make these to
Yeah.
be cars, though. These
Yeah.
are cars. They were animated to be cars.
Yes.
Okay, I
Yeah.
concede.
Can I
Me too.
talk about the gestation process of this movie in the real world?
Sure.
In reality, because here's
No.
the thing. I think we are fast approaching an entire podcast's worth of content where we have not actually spoken specifically about the events of the movie even one time. So I'm gonna try
Yeah.
my best to steer us that direction.
That's a good pun.
What I think is the most fascinating about the sort of trio of Monsters Inc., Finding Nemo, and Cars is that Pixar at first in the 90s were like a small team of people making these movies, right? And the like creative heads were like John Lasseter, Andrew Stanton, Pete Docter, all doing different things, all like in charge of different aspects of the movie, right? And then, so they make those three movies just as one unit as Pixar. And then after Toy Story 2, they make Toy Story, Bugs Life, and Toy Story 2. After Toy Story 2 is when they decide to split off into separate teams to be working on multiple movies concurrently. And this is also when they bring Brad Bird on. So there are 4 movies that Pixar is working on at the same time. Andrew Stanton is in charge of Finding Nemo. That's what he directs. Pete Docter is doing Monsters, Inc. Brad Bird is doing Incredibles. And John Lasseter is doing Cars. And what I think is fascinating, because Cars, I would say, is decidedly the horniest of the Pixar movies.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
and-
Absolutely.
And in the grand scope of how horny things could be, Cars is not really that horny.
I mean, Lightning McQueen does sexually harass Sally the first time that he meets
Right.
her.
But it is like,
And he also gets flashed.
it is
Yeah.
definitely hornier than the others. I would argue that the other most horny Pixar movies are those first 3. Are the other 3 that John Lasseter has directed. And it's sort of apocryphal to assign, full creative control onto John Lasseter for those first 3 movies, because like I said, it was like all hands on deck. It was like this entire team working as one. John Lasseter just happened to be the guy who got the director quote unquote credit, right?
Right.
But I would just argue that it was his influence on those movies that inserted the horniness, right? Like Woody getting made out with by Bo Peep in the original one.
Yeah,
and
the name Woody.
The post credit scene in Toy Story 2 where he's like sexually extorting those 2 Barbie dolls, Stinky Pete. Remember
Yes,
that?
Kelsey Grammer. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, because it's worth noting, Finding Nemo, Monsters Inc., The Incredibles, almost 0% horny.
Yeah, not horny at all.
Incredibles
There's
maybe
an
like
implied
10%
horniness
horny.
Monsters
in
Inc. Are you
Incredibles.
kidding me?
Wait, what's horny?
What's horny in Monsters Inc?
They're carrying a child for
Mike
90% of
Wazowski
that
and
film.
Sally are constantly making out. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
There's a different energy to that, though.
Horny, that's a romantic relationship. That's not horny.
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah, you see it when you see it. It ain't horny.
This isn't the Republican Party's take on porn. This is very clearly seen in Monsters Inc. There's an energy there.
No, you're wrong.
Schmootsy poo.
I don't know. Whatever. I'll move.
That's
I'll
the
concede.
opposite of horny to me.
Maybe
Yeah,
there's.
I posit I've seen Monsters Inc. more times than any of you guys combined.
Okay, just
Okay.
because you get horny during Monsters Inc. does not mean that it
That's
is a horny
not what
movie.
I said. Does that mean you're getting horny to cars? Is that your argument right now?
No, but this appears to be your argument because nobody else has said that there's a horny energy.
I didn't even want to talk about how Pixar movies are horny because they're movies for children.
Maybe
So,
Jackson
okay.
is horny.
All right. Here's what I'll say. I'll revise. Okay. I'm gonna say Finding Nemo 0% horny. Monsters Inc. 5% horny. Incredibles 10% horny. Okay.
Okay.
I would say that Cars is like 25% horny. Is that fair?
That's
Where
fair.
are we at Bug's Life?
Bugs Life? I don't know. I don't remember it well enough to remember if there's anything especially horny.
There's a
in it.
beetle. He's got horns.
Go with
Princess
it.
Ada is pretty. Also, there are those like pill bugs that are constantly sexually harassing the ladybug. He's
Right.
like, oh man.
Oh, it's the flies, yeah.
Oh yeah, and the flies.
Oh yeah, not the pill bugs.
So yeah,
My
I'll put the first 3 movies in similarly 5 to 10% horny range.
Yeah,
Okay.
but Jackson, I think that you've kind of dug yourself a hole here by your hot take that John Lasseter makes horny movies when we've recently found out the way that he treats women at Pixar. So
Right. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
part of it.
I think
That's
I think
part of what's going on.
I think
here.
I think we've been new is what I'm saying.
But I would argue that Bonnie Hunt's, you know, that line reading at the end of the movie where like him and like Lightning McQueen and Sally like kind of like have their little moment at the end, and the lady's like, is this what I think it is? And she says like, oh, I don't know, but I am about to find out. Oh yes,
Yeah.
or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is I was trying. Can you guys think of a hornier line reading in a movie that's ostensibly for children? Because I cannot.
Yeah, no, that's it. They
No, that-
did it.
That reads hornier than the steak speech from The Lighthouse.
Yeah. Which is saying so much. Like that is
Yeah.
God.
truly. There's more sexual energy in that one delivery than like any other line reading in history that I can think of.
That's a fair point.
Can cars have sex?
Yes. Anyway, so
The question is, will they have
Well,
sex?
man.
I realized
And
see,
when?
looking down at the stream timer, I realized that it's been about 70 minutes, and it must have been years ago that I made that take that there's no reason for them to be cars. Then we got into the whole galaxy brain take that we've agreed is canon. But just to actually get into the film and kind of go through the plots of the film, because we could go on about galaxy brain takes about how the fuck the Cars universe works for just forever. We would never stop.
Right.
And just to kind of return to my original point that I think this movie would be a million times better if they were just humans. It's
Yeah.
because in that first scene, they do such a good job of establishing all the characters and the characters' goals and why they're here and putting tension on the competition. Like, they do it so well, so effectively. I immediately know what's going on in this scene. But then there's like a 50-car pileup, and like people get like seriously hurt, and
Yep.
like, and there's no emotion about it because it's a fucking car.
Yeah, because
And I don't.
cars.
Yeah, I don't care if a car wrecks because we could just fix the car or whatever. But if that's a 50-car pileup with human people in it, human people getting injured and people that could die because I know where their soul is, because we all know where the human soul is located, then I would be
button.
worried and there would be tension and I would be scared or sad. But there's just none of that because they're cars, you know?
Right,
just-
but
I
they try to drive that home in Cars 3 by crashing lightning, and you're
But
supposed
we-
to feel something.
But we
That's
all
what
thought
I
it
was
was
gonna say.
hilarious.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Cars 3, it wasn't hilarious. It was gutted I was. I literally thought that Lightning McQueen was dead. And I was an adult when that movie came out.
Wait, hold on.
And
Are you
also
saying that
when
you
you
cried
said-
during Cars 3?
I'm not saying I cried during Cars 3. I'm saying I cried during Cars 1 and Cars 3.
Oh, okay.
Not because, but here's the thing, is that when we find out that Doc Hudson crashed and burned, a lot of people in NASCAR will become injured, but they don't all die. You know, there are some who do, which is very sad. But like, it's still tragic when someone gets hurt and they can't race anymore. And I don't think it's as much like race car driving as it is like, oh, this is an athlete and they've been injured and they can't go on,
Right.
and that's really tragic because they're being
But
dropped.
that metaphor still doesn't work as well for cars because it's very easy to fix cars. Like
Yeah,
the
Lightning
majority
gets
of the time
rebuilt
when a
in
car
3.
is broken,
Yeah.
sometimes there are like
But
limitations of like
he
money
can't
and
be
stuff.
rebuilt to be the same efficiency as the
Right.
new cars that are coming out.
But
Right.
I'm still just saying that it still loses something because it's a car and because you can fix it to some degree. The
Yeah.
reason that human athletes stop is because as a human, if you mess something up, a lot of times you just straight up can't fix it, and that's where it falls apart and you
think-
lose empathy.
I think when you separate Cars 1 from everything else and you just look at it and like, don't worry about Cars 3, don't worry about Cars 2,
Yeah.
the whole Doc Hudson thing, it still works really well just because like you could tell like psychologically he's just really not into the idea of going through that again. Like he
Yeah.
crashed, it was horrible, and he let a lot of people down. He just doesn't want to race anymore.
Yeah.
And that makes sense. It's like they're not trying to pass it off as like oh, he got like super injured, like he's got like a weird car limp. Like no, they have him drive around and he's still like really spry. So I like that they play that in that way. But then in Cars 2, you just have cars getting killed. Like in the first
Yeah.
5 minutes of Cars 2, there are at least 2 deaths, at most 40-ish deaths.
Yeah, because they play guns in that
Because
one,
they do
don't
like
they?
Winter Soldier beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, so the car goes to the spy car. He goes to a drilling platform, and basically, like how Captain America in Winter Soldier just like throws people off of the boat. This spy car starts throwing people off the drilling platform, and you actually see these cars hit the water square and explode, like parts flying off, fully on screen.
Oh man.
Then there's like this part where they go up this weird like rotational, not staircase because they're cars, but ramp, and he like Donkey Kongs and drops a bunch of like explosive barrels, and he blows up at least like 20 cars. Like,
Okay.
and just like, where's the
But
line?
if that movie happened and it like that action happened in a person-centric movie, like we watch Avengers Age of Ultron and
Yeah.
watch people die, and we're not like, oh my god, 1,000 people just died.
Right.
We're like, ooh, beat up
Right.
those robots.
Right.
So
So,
I
okay,
don't
okay.
think there's a difference.
The emotion of Doc Hudson is very effective. You feel the pain, but the pain does not come from him being physically injured. The pain
Right.
comes from I was unable to race, and they immediately replaced me, and I let
Yes.
everybody down.
That's
and they
what I've been
shoved
trying
me.
to butt in and say. Who cares
Yeah, that-
if he can die or not? Why is that
Yeah,
even
exactly.
important?
Yeah, Doc Hudson is effective because of the emotions that come from the crash, not the crash itself, which is why the fuck is he a car?
Look, my
Why is that?
two point argument is this, okay? First of all, it's whatever. The narrative stakes around death and physical injury or whatever they want it to be, and it doesn't matter what they could be because all that matters is what actually happens in the movie, which is all fine. Second of all, obviously they wanted to make a movie about cars. Everything
Yeah.
is reverse engineered from the fact that they're cars. They said,
Except
what if
the
there were
plot.
cars, and they figured out a set of conflicts that would apply specifically to cars. What if
But
there were cars?
that's not true, though. It's not a set of issues that only apply to cars.
That's true.
That's
There-
the whole
there's-
argument,
there's
is
a
that you could
whole-
put anything. Lightning McQueen could be anything, and the plot would be exactly the same. It is not reliant
I
on the
don't
fact
think
that they're
that's-
cars.
Oh,
I don't think
okay.
that's
Because
at
Toy
all.
Story is reliant on the fact that toys, because it's intrinsic to the plot.
Wait.
With
But
Cars,
I don't think.
If
I don't
Woody
think
was
the
just a
only
real life
thing-
fucking human person, Toy Story wouldn't make any goddamn sense. If Lightning McQueen was just a human person, Cars would make absolute still.
Plot isn't the only thing that makes a movie. There's also theme. And I think the theme and the takeaway and the soul of this movie is
Has
that
nothing to
living
do
in the fast lane. Hey,
Hey, shut up,
living in
Ella.
the
Let Keisha
fast lane.
speak.
Living in the fast lane doesn't have the same beauty and depth and ability to connect with others around you as slowing down and really getting to know other people, doing things for others, finding ways that your service can be for the people around you, the people that you care about. And I think the image of a race car who is literally built to just race for himself, do whatever he wants, be the rookie of the year and win the Piston Cup, and have to take the time to slow down is a really cool image and a
Yes.
cool way to express theme.
Yes,
It's not about the
Keisha.
plot, it's about the theme.
Beautifully put.
Keisha,
Theme,
you.
but that's them being a visual metaphor.
Keisha.
Yeah,
This
it's a visual metaphor for the theme. It's not about the plot.
But
So
it's-
what if they're
You don't
toys?
have to have a visual metaphor in order for the theme to be effective.
But it
I
makes
think
it
it's a really
better! What the
beautiful
fuck are
thing.
you talking about?
I think it's a really beautiful story for little boys in 2006 to see
Yeah.
a bunch of race cars and say, ooh, cool race car. But the cool thing about the race car is that he
Wait, they're
learns to be
cars.
selfless and care for others.
Yes, I think that is a good plot. I think it's a good story. I think it's a good lesson. I don't like that they're cars. That's all I'm saying.
Take the
I
L,
don't like the
Adeline,
car
take the
designs.
L.
I got no opinions towards cars. I'm not my dad. I don't care about cars.
You've been outvoted,
Why, do you-
Adeline.
why does it have to be? Why does it have to be the little engine that could? Why couldn't it be the little boy that could?
Yeah, a little
Why
boy
couldn't it
could.
be
What if
the-
if
It's
they were like,
symbolic.
oh, kid, that's you. You could be that person. A little boy can't be a car.
Well, it can't be a little engine. That's the thing. It's symbolic. It's symbolism.
So
I just wrote a whole paper about semiotics a couple of weeks ago, and I absolutely should have written it about fucking cars, and I'm so mad that I didn't.
So, why don't we talk about our favorite things about the movies?
So, okay.
The things that actually happen in the movies and
Right.
not conjecture.
the
I think the thing
environment
that this
very
movie
much.
really has going for it, because
Which
know,
one?
in
Cars
a lot
one?
of ways,
Yeah.
I think that like sort of the humor of it is very simple. It's a lot of just like wordplay, you know?
Yeah.
Like one-off gags that you're like, that was kind of funny,
Yeah,
I
like sight
guess.
gags and wordplay, and yeah.
And I think that like, you know, the plot itself is kind of shaggy. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't necessarily like really need to be in there if it were going to be like a really lean tight movie, you know, which is not
Right.
something you can say about basically any other Pixar movie at this point. But the thing that makes Cars still a part of our collective vocabulary is just like the feel of it, you know? When you get into Radiator Springs and you meet like each of these individual characters, like you feel so endeared to them like instantly. Like every time you're introduced to a new character in this movie, they stick in your brain for the rest of the time. You never have a moment where you're like, "Oh, who was that? I forget which one was Doc Hudson." You know?
Yeah.
Like every single one of these characters feels so good. The world they inhabit feels so real, and just it's weird to say production design on an animated movie, but like the production design is so specific and like geographically you know exactly where everything is, and that like opening chase sequence like sets up that little like, you know, few hundred square feet area the plot takes place in so quickly and efficiently. Like once you get into that zone, you feel so immersed in the world that like I want to forgive like any and all flaws that this movie has other than that, you know?
Yeah, no, the environments are so freaking pretty and well developed and like crunchy and like feel like real life. Like they totally master like the small town that's like out of their heyday. Like it's just they do it so well.
And
Which
it
is
does
so important.
Yeah, just having everything be like in a desert, you would think everything would look muted, but they like wonderful use of color, and thanks to mostly the cars for being vibrant
Colorful.
colors. But like that, it works really effectively, and it's almost like, I mean, the whole movie does really take place in Radiator Springs. The moments
Right.
like the races, those are just like in this area that's like so far removed, like it's so abstract where Mac was driving Lightning to. Like it really is kind of like that Odyssey type thing where that whole area, it's just in his imagination. Like everything that matters is in Radiator Springs. It's concrete, it's mapped out.
Right.
Yeah. Now Cars 2 is definitely the opposite.
Where it's just like anything goes.
Yeah. So I will give credit where it's due. Cars 2 tried to do something different. Cars 2
It's something really different.
Yeah. Now, I don't really know a whole lot about what was going on behind the scenes and whether or not for this one Owen Wilson was a little bit less available than Larry the Cable Guy. I'm assuming that's the truth. But
Cars 2 had the courage to ask, is Larry the Cable Guy a bankable movie star?
Yes. It
the
certainly
answer
did
A
was
have
bankable action
no.
star.
Action star.
So that lends itself to say that basically rather than having Mater be the buddy in this film, the film really focuses more on Mater and some of his actions and how they affect people around him, like Lightning McQueen, which sort of puts Lightning McQueen in more of a support role. It's a support role in which you see him very, very often, and the movie tries to pretend that it's about him, but the movie is fully about Mater.
Mhm.
I think that this wasn't a technical decision. I think it was a technical mistake. I think that
Right.
they just kind of got lost in the weeds there with all these scenes where you have Lightning like bad mouthing and talking sports with all the other sports cars, and these are the least interesting parts of the movie. The most interesting parts are the ones with Mater, who is on a spy adventure
Yeah.
for some reason, because I don't know. I guess I can see the threads, like I could, like, okay, people like cars, they like racing. What do we do for Cars 2? It's got to be more than racing. What else do people like cars in? Well, car chases, spy movies.
Right.
They're cool tech, like, your cool spy cars with their weird technology. Absolutely. I'm 100% on board. I know that it's bizarre, and you know that it's bizarre, and they know that it's bizarre, so let's just
Right.
move on from that. But then you have this weird sense of mortality that doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
You have these cars that are like literally like roughing each other up in the bathroom, like talking about killing each other.
That's right.
And then you have Larry the Cable coming in like, to watch out for the bidet.
Right.
Like, and it's eerie because it is Larry the Cable Guy in a spy movie that is accidentally inside an Owen Wilson comedy.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's like,
So
so what
we're
do
like
people like about cars? They like spy movies, spy cars, and they also like talking about racing, and that's what they made Cars 2 about.
that is the extent of how much they thought. Exactly.
Which
and
is
of
really
course,
unfortunate
yeah.
because like Cars 1 has a really cool, like, this rookie learns
Yep.
to be supported, and then Cars 3, this like racer who has been in the game for quite a while learns to become a support system, and there's
Right.
this whole middle section that could have been, here's him in his prime and he could have a whole other arc, but no.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, the first and third are extremely grounded films with actual lessons to teach. The second one feels like the spin-off cartoon show for the cars.
Right.
Yeah.
Like an episode, just one episode of like the 10 episode season that got canceled of the Cars animated series.
Right.
Because it is just a buck wild premise that Lightning McQueen could be racing Formula One cars in Europe. When they basically kind of dismissed that whole idea in 3, like there are limitations to what certain cars should be doing as far as racing and
Right.
like classes and stuff like that. Not like social classes, but like weight classes, like in wrestling, but for cars. So like, but Cars 2 is just this long slog of what thing happens next, and like somebody's making it as you're watching it, and
Yeah.
it's like, I guess we need a lightning scene here. Let's have him be a little bit upset that Mater is being like a weirdo, but also have a moment where another car tells Lightning to take it easy on Mater because he's your friend. But from the very beginning, that's exactly how he feels, and at the very end, that's how he feels. And the conflict in the middle, your little rom-com conflict where everybody kind of forgets how they feel about one another
Right, the babe
until
wait
10
scene.
minutes after. Yeah. When that happens, it's so fleeting that you don't even buy it from Lightning. Like, you don't even think that he truly feels any kind of resentment towards Mater. So his scenes serve absolutely no purpose. Everything that Mater does is condensed into his own scenes, which is about half the movie, and there's still not enough time to actually get into this spy thing, because every time you see him, he's doing something new that doesn't make sense. and you're just like, how do we get here? Why was I just watching two cars talk about emotional, like, friendships and the weight that they can have on professional activity? Like, why am I watching that when this could be a Mater movie where he's a spy and he learns that he should not be ashamed of the way he's built. He doesn't need to worry about these fancy cars and all their like cool spy devices, because he could do the same thing that they can do. He has the same like engineering know-how, which is displayed a lot in the movie. Like how he knows, like, from pictures of motors, like what's going on with this guy's engine, and he finds clues that the other spies aren't even like noticing, and he does all these really amazing things, but we still get stuck in this really weird buddy cop thing where Mater and Lightning are just at odds with each other the whole time, and it just serves absolutely no purpose.
Right.
This movie could be half its length and still be equally dissatisfying, but at least you would have wasted less time.
Yeah.
I
I
wish we
think
had
the
more
Cars-
to add. Just that I don't think that anybody else in this call has seen Cars 2 in the past decade. So-
Yeah, we watched Cars 2 in theaters with our grandparents,
Right.
and when it came out, and I think that's the last time I've thought about Cars 2.
I rewatched it for this.
Yeah.
Did I tell you
you
guys
said
that I
that.
bought a Blu-ray copy of Cars 2 at a garage sale?
No.
I was at work. I was on the clock. Bezos was actively paying me. And I
Yep,
pulled over
uh-huh.
to the side of the road and did a once-over on this family's Blu-ray collection they're selling on their yard. And I was like, Cars 2, baby. Also got Snowpiercer, but the main attraction was Cars 2.
But you stayed
Actually,
for Cars
Snowpiercer
2.
does take place in the Cars universe.
Yeah.
Have you seen the
Yeah,
video
but
essay that
Snowpiercer is
posits
alive.
that
It's the
that
Willy Wonka thing.
Snowpiercer is actually a sequel to Willy Wonka? Because that blows
Yeah.
my mind.
That one's fun. That's much better than the Pixar manifesto that we just read.
Oh God. we have never read that person with that Galaxy Brain timeline. They have like a whole book series that they've written based around that timeline.
Yeah, like a fiction, like a fan fiction set in the
Yeah, like
Pixar
you know the
universe.
Super Smash Brothers fan fiction that's like the longest document of all time. Like he's got like that for this Galaxy Brain idea that he has.
So okay,
I
to
I just
sort of
want to
steer
know
us.
why it's Pixar that
Right.
like
See,
has
I
to be
don't
all
know.
connected. Like not DreamWorks, not Disney.
I would argue
it's
it's because
because-
Not-
Pixar, in the days before Marvel Studios, I feel like Pixar has the most coherent body of work of any corporate entity that kind of
Like-
has ever existed.
Well, it was like because when we only had like 5 movies, we had a small amount of thing. They were all made by the same people, and Pixar has loved cameos since
Right.
the very
Mhm.
beginning. They loved Easter eggs, and for some reason, every Easter egg has to have meaning behind it. It can't
Right.
just be, I also worked on this movie, so I'm gonna put a funny little guy in the background.
Yeah,
It's not that. It's deep
Right.
lore that you don't understand.
I think it's probably just like a product of the time. Like, clickbait was getting huge. The Marvel
Mm.
movies that were crossing over were finally doing that, and I mean, nobody was really connecting the dots for these Pixar films and seeing those Easter eggs and like being like, it's a crossover until basically all these Avengers movies started coming out and BuzzFeed started making tons of money.
Right.
But like, yeah, I don't know what the fascination is. It's fun to look for patterns. Like we're hardwired to do that, and it's nice to like feel that kind of connection with the other films because they're cute, fun films. But when people get so into it that they have to like be
Galaxy
morbid
brain
and
it.
weird like that guy, like oh
right,
my
Yeah.
god,
about the fuel wars in the year
yeah.
2100.
Yeah, it's a bit much when you get that far, but I'm sure it's all in good fun for them too. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I want to shout out Michael Keaton in this movie. And just like the way that Michael Keaton can just show up in these Pixar movies, giving a
Yeah.
voice performance that you would never guess was him in a trillion years.
yeah,
Like,
Wait, who does Michael Keaton play?
yeah, he plays Chick Hicks. Michael
Chick
Keaton's
Hicks.
the guy who says
Kachuga.
Kachuga. Yeah.
Oh.
yeah,
And you would never know it. The same thing because he plays Ken in Toy Story 3.
Oh
Which-
yeah.
Doesn't feel like a Michael Keaton part at all, but he's so good in both of these roles. And if I didn't read the name Michael Keaton in the credits, I would never in a zillion years
Yeah.
even think that it might have been Michael Keaton, you know?
Yeah. Figured it would have been like one of the animators. Like nobody really all
Right.
that important.
Exactly.
Yeah. There are definitely some voice actors in Cars 2. I have not paid attention to it.
Funny's voice.
Owen
acting.
Wilson is not showing up for this one. He is
No,
Over
not
it.
really.
There is no acting.
Owen Wilson is weird casting, I feel like.
Really? Because I was thinking when you guys were talking about Cars 1 and Radiator Springs and the plot and how like he's, you know, like he's serving a greater purpose than just himself, that really did feel like an Owen Wilson film, like him
Yeah.
going to this small town and doing that. Like
Mhm.
I thought it's great casting.
I guess
I feel like
the
Owen
only-
Wilson, this
I could-
movie happened before people were like, oh, wow.
Right, yeah.
Oh, for
And
sure. Yeah.
like he has like a soft childlike but not like a child demeanor and voice that feels like
Yeah.
it could be a race car but also is learning how to love.
Right.
Through
He's
the power
a
of wood.
soft country boy.
I guess I just
Kinda.
don't get the sort of jocular aspect from Owen Wilson.
Who would you cast?
I'm not sure. I have always held the belief that I think Will Ferrell should do more voiceover work. And I think that
Yeah.
might be
I don't
fun.
think Will
I think that would
Ferrell
just
really
be
good in,
Talladega Nights again.
Lego
though.
movie.
That's true. Maybe I'm just thinking about that because of Talladega Nights. Fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, he
what
did,
Yeah,
about-
he
I
did
don't
good voice
know.
acting in Lego movie. He was the villain.
That's
yeah,
pretty
no,
good.
every time Will Ferrell has taken a major voice acting role, he's fucking killed it. It's Lego movie
Yeah.
and one other thing I can't remember.
Can we
Yeah,
get?
I don't
can
know
we
if he's
get?
right for Lightning McQueen though.
Can we get a Tom Holland for Lightning McQueen, please?
No.
Tom
Oh,
Holland to
no,
the front
no.
desk.
Oh
It was
God.
2006, Adeline.
No, I'm making a joke, Keisha.
We can't. We can't
This is a
put Tom
comedy
Holland in
podcast.
every movie
I'm
ever.
not here to joke about Lightning McQueen voice actors. I do think though, if they wanted to, if he wasn't feeling it for Cars 2, they really could have just had anyone do an Owen Wilson voice.
Yeah. Yeah, he barely talks, and he was usually just whispering or grumbling when he does. He's so out of this movie that it's not even funny. Like it's sad. It's Cars 1 and 3 are the movies, and then Cars 2 is an accident. It just kind of exists for some reason.
Oh, Jackson, was Will
To
Ferrell
make that
Megamind?
money.
Yeah,
Will
Megamind.
Ferrell was
Will
Megamind.
Ferrell's
Thank
so
you,
good in
Ian.
Megamind.
God, Will Ferrell is so
Megamind,
good
yeah.
as Megamind. Megamind is so good.
Yeah.
Like,
You
I
know what
wish
saw
Megamind
recently?
took place. What did you see recently, Dan?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no.
I saw Storks.
Yeah.
Right.
Is
It
that
was
still in
really
there?
good.
Yeah, I've
No.
only seen a portion of it like while I was babysitting, so I've never like given it the time to like sit down and actually
Yeah.
like watch it.
My
And
sister-in-law has recommended that movie to me maybe 4 or 5 times now.
yeah.
Right.
But she also just had a baby, so
Okay, so here's the pitch. Okay, this is gonna be really quick. But you know how like so many movies growing up, like animated films, had babies in them, and there were so many like snot jokes and diaper jokes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Storks
Poop,
has 0.
etc.
Oh.
Not a single gross out humor joke, really.
Wow, no
Except for,
fluid-based
like,
humor.
It's weirdly enough, a lot of it is the kind of like office humor. Like not Office the show, but like coworker based humor. Like
Right.
basically
Yeah.
a goal is trying to be reached, and certain people have different ways of going about it, and it does end up being about more than that, and themes of family and stuff like that. But like I really expected to just be like, okay, time to sit through snot and poop jokes because there's babies.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's like hundreds of babies and not a single poop joke.
No poops, huh?
Now I
So-
cannot say
That's
the
incredible.
same for Boss Baby. That's maybe the opposite.
That was exactly what kept me away. Like I was like, with Boss Baby, I don't know if I want to watch Storks.
God,
But-
Boss Baby.
So
what
we've
a
been
film.
at this for a while. I think we
We
can
have.
probably start to wrap up our actual podcast and start to transition into fandom deep dive here. But in the meantime, sorry, 1 second. Let me look over my notes, make sure there's not anything particularly important that I want.
Just for the record, I also did cry at Cars 3.
Thank
Not
you.
Cars 1, but Cars 3. At the end of it.
Can I just
Not
say
when
why I
lightning
cried in
crashes.
Cars 1? Yeah. So what made me cry in Cars 1 is like the visuals of where at first he had been seeing darkness, and they're now being filled with this place that he's fallen in love with that Sally had mentioned before. And
Mhm.
now he has become this person who literally pushed himself to the limit so far just so he could win that he blew out both of his back tires. He's now literally stopping right in front. He could have won if he wanted to, but he didn't because he values someone else over his own ego. It just made me tear up a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just really
Yeah.
beautiful.
Good
I
for
watched
No,
Cars
character
for a
growth.
while.
No, it's
Those are
absolutely.
the moments.
It's like we're gonna keep using this reference of a movie that people haven't seen, but Jackson with the Will Ferrell comedy music movie. It's like the, what
Eurovision.
do they call it? What is it that they
Eurovision,
call the
the
special
story
note?
of Fire Saga.
Yeah, what do they call the special note?
Oh, I don't remember.
The Bjorn note, whatever.
I don't
It's
think
like
that's
that.
even true, though. I think this movie has a really well executed character arc that pays off. In
No,
a
I'm
satisfying
saying
way.
I'm not trying to. Why is everyone attacking me? I'm not saying
You're
that
hating
it's
on
a
Cars
bad
for no
moment or not
reason.
emotional moment. I'm saying it's an incredibly effective emotional moment, but it's kind of set up this way. But like, the person stops at the finish line to help somebody else is not a new plot idea. It's something that's been done before. But I'm saying it's such an effective
Yeah.
thing that it is a tearjerker, even if I have seen it before. It's a very effective and
Right.
emotional plot point.
And you haven't seen it on Cars.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't seen a car doing it.
Exactly. You got to see a car do it. That's
Yeah, you
that's
haven't
why
seen
this
it till you've
exists.
seen a car do it.
Yeah.
That's what I
A
always
car
say.
who tied a race with his tongue.
Yeah,
Oh, you don't think Larry the Cable Guy is funny? Well, maybe if he was a car, he'd think differently.
maybe he would be.
I will say, Larry the Cable Guy as a car, at least 15% funnier than just as a dude.
Well, yeah, because somebody else is writing his. Well, I'm sure somebody else is always writing his material,
Yeah.
but a different team is definitely writing his material here.
Ew.
So would you guys like to hear a
It's
5-star
endearing.
review of Cars?
Yeah.
So this
I
review
thought-
comes from
I think Dan
letterboxd.com.
already gave one.
What'd you say?
I said Dan already gave one, but I'd
That's
love to
true.
hear another one.
A different one. This person says,
You guys let me make a whole review on Cars 2 and then told me right after that nobody had watched it.
yeah,
So,
we did.
I'm
There's
so
egg on my
sorry.
face.
I
Did
feel
you
like
watch
I
Cars 2 in preparation for this podcast?
It's on my screen right now. I've been like looking through and scrubbing from like timestamps that I had written down.
I do
Okay.
feel very educated about Cars 2, though. I will say that.
Yeah.
I feel like I have watched Cars 2 now.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry we were not clear on what was expected of you, Dan.
I think there was homework.
Yeah. Teacher.
Teacher, you forgot to
You
collect
forgot to give us
homework.
homework.
Yeah, we all get Fs. Okay, so this person on Letterboxd says, "Sexiest movie ever made. Nothing more sensual than metal on
Oh,
metal.
God.
Broom broom goes the engine, baby, and I'm revving for more. Gestural and sensual and everything cinema can and should be."
Gesture.
And that's Cars 1.
That's
Wow.
Cars 1.
And that's Cars 1. Good night, everybody.
Good night,
It's
everybody.
obviously not Cars 2 because Cars 2 has a lot more Jesus in it.
Oh, by
Yeah.
the way, Dan, how horny is Cars 2? More or less than Cars 1?
It doesn't have time to be horny. It
Okay.
really is just like there's just so much happening like in every frame that like there's no time to be horny.
There's never
It's
a
just
scene
time to
where,
be
like,
fast.
Car Mater is in a hot tub with a bunch of like cute mini vans and
Secret
bikinis
agents
or
or
something.
something.
That
Yeah,
sounds
but
like
the
something
thing
I would
is,
listen
thing.
he's
to.
just Mater is always so oblivious to everything that's going around on around him that there's no time for it.
Now, does the spy... I know that we've ended the podcast. Maybe not yet. Now, does the female spy lady... Does she fall in love with Tow Mater?
I I actually didn't
Thank you for using his
finish
full name.
on this rewatch, but
Mhm.
it does seem as though they establish a mutual connection and they do not stay together.
I think it's kind of like
Maybe they're
Paul Blart
friends
Mall
with
Cop
Benny.
2, right? Where there's like this woman that's in love with him, but he's like, no, we can't.
Nah, I don't know. Like I think
Is
that
it
it's
more or
smart for
less
them to
fat
not
phobic?
make this because the reason they get together is because she thinks he's a spy. So the
Right.
whole relationship is predicated on like absolute buffoonery and
Mhm.
deception.
Yeah. Well, because she
So
thinks that she thinks that Tow Mater is just like a it's just like a persona that he's doing.
yeah,
She
like
doesn't
he's
think
the
that's
American
actually what
spy,
he's
and
like. Yeah, but then when he's actually
because
like that, she's like, "What's
yeah.
wrong with you?" And he's like, "I don't know."
Here, I'm gonna actually go to the scene here and see what happens. Give me 1 second.
I can only pull that Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 reference out of my butt so easily because I had to watch it like 4 times in a row for that Dark Side of the Moon video.
Yeah, we know, Jason.
I just have a question, really quick.
Yeah, it's she's
why
just
are we-
into him, but not in a relationship kind of way,
Got
and they
it.
just drive off and go find the queen or whatever.
Or whatever.
Yeah, the Queen of
respect
England.
Each other. They respect each other as work associates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what little boys need to see represented in the media.
Yeah.
That
Those
Respectful
little boys that
friendship.
look up to Larry the Cable Guy, who is a
Yeah.
truck.
Not Larry the Cable Guy. They look up to Tow Mater. They're
If I could
separate
replace
entities.
Larry the Cable Guy in our universe with a horrifying Tow Mater in our universe,
dude, go to Disneyland. They got you.
fine.
Okay.
I
That's
actually have a
true.
picture. I will tweet it to the account of me being eaten by Mater.
Oh.
That's
Now, how
terrifying.
horny is this picture?
Not.
Not.
Okay. I need to do our plugs and wrap up at the end. So,
Okay.
hey, what's up, everybody at home?
Hey, gamers.
The podcast's not over. We thought it might have.
Never over.
It seemed like it was going to be over for a second there, but we pulled it right back out because we got to say, hey, thank you for listening. Whether you're listening on the stream, listening to us talk right now, which we hugely appreciate, or whether you are watching just a video playback later, we love if you would just subscribe to the YouTube channel because I think we're at 197 subscribers right now. And if we could crack 200 in the next couple days, that'd be
cool.
so sick. I'd love for that to happen. And if you're listening to this just as a podcast, which is I think probably how the majority of people are going to end up hearing this in the fullness of time, why don't you go ahead and you can subscribe to the podcast and you can leave us a review on iTunes or whatever other platform you use because that really helps us in the algorithm. It pushes our stuff on other people more the more engagement we get on the different platforms. So just trying to be transparent in how we are asking about that. You can follow us on Twitter at NoNerdsPod. My handle for my personal account is Jepperpack. Adeline is Hollabackhorse. And Keisha doesn't have one yet. Dan, do you want to plug anything before we leave?
So I'm at Kodav on it's Koda VH on Twitter. I am part of a few other podcasts if you want to check them out, if you like Real Play and other fantasy, where I talk a whole lot less, and when I do talk, I'm a completely different person. So that's
like
probably
Tow Mater.
yeah, exactly like Tow Mater. You can check out the Cosmonaut Variety Hour Tabletop podcast. And then, if you feel like listening to some other nerds' ramblings and reviews on other stuff, you could go to the Cosmonaut Variety Hour YouTube channel and see my buddy Marcus and the stuff that he does and the stuff that I try not to get mixed up in, because death threats about Sam Raimi's Spider-Man are not fun to hang out around.
Yeah, not to.
I feel like it's better than other death threats potentially, though.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. When you think of it like that. Yeah, not to be a suck up on air or anything, but your guys' video where you're watching the Final Fantasy Spirits Within movie is, I feel, hugely underappreciated. That video cracks me up.
I appreciate it. It's the energy that I put out, which is the pure negativity. It draws in the positivity from the audience, and that's the balance of the world, isn't it?
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, thank you. Anyway, my name is Jackson McMurray.
My name is Ellen McMurray.
My name is Keisha Rhodes.
My name is Dan Goldberg, the one that produced Hangover.
Hell yeah. And this is No Nerds Allowed. Thank you. We still haven't really figured out, since we added Keisha to the show, if we're going to adjust our intros and outros yet. I don't know. Maybe we should have that conversation off air.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if you wanted me to go for it there.
I didn't really know either. I was just going to go with the flow.
Well, it just feels exclusionary now, because we're the two McMurrays, and then there's also Keisha.
I'll just change my last name to McMurray.
Yeah, Keisha McMurray, and then we'll all be good.
Where is
Move
this
me up
gosh
in the
darn
lunch line.
picture?
So let's go ahead. We can stop our podcast recordings now.
Yeah, let me stop recording. I don't want any.
And delete,
I don't want any evidence of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No
Make sure you
evidence.
save those, Keisha. Make sure you save those, Keisha.
I'm doing it right now, brother.
Good.
Don't ever talk to me like that ever again.
And we
Keisha has a weird energy today.
we can now. By the way, Keisha, I fully expect to edit in the national anthem and crowds cheering underneath your manifesto about why Lightning McQueen should be a car.
Thank you. I really walked in, because here's the thing: is I walked into the movie, I was like, Cars doesn't need to be cars. What's the point? I literally wrote at the very top, what's the point of them being cars? Maybe.
So you just threw me under the bus completely.
I didn't throw you under the bus.
You represent her ignorance, and she must squash it.
I am a physical
growth.
metaphor.
I'm inviting you to also experience growth. Plot isn't the only thing that's important in a movie.
Cars are more important.
I do think it is just a little bit boring character design wise to be like, okay, here's a character, pick a car for it, and then now pick a color, and here we go, there's the character,
Can you guys see in the Discord my Google Chrome window?
Hold on, let me.
I have to hit watch stream.
Let me exit Disney Plus.
Out of here. It's loading right now. Did you hit share screen?
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, it's just loading right now.
She's taking her time. Take your time.
I really hope that we can pull this off, and I'm not going to be restricted by my dumb computer.
Was Doc Hudson the last role that Paul Newman ever did?
I think it was.
It might be.
I feel like that's a better role than Jimmy Stewart as that dog sheriff
in Fievel Goes
American Tail.
Yeah.
No, not an American Tail. Fievel Goes West, the direct-to-video sequel.
How do you not watch Fievel Goes West? Okay.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. There's actually so much shame that I feel like now.
We have to get Fievel Goes West. We have to.
Maybe we do.
Stream has ended. Cricket noise. I'll close that stream.
How'd the stream go? Excellent.
Great. For asking.
No, don't say excellent. It didn't work.
It went terrible. Fuck you.
Perfect. Do nothing, Discord.
If I only stream to the actual stream on YouTube, could you guys just tune in? I know there would be a delay, but it would be better than nothing.
That's fine.
I'll get rid of that. It didn't go well.
That one didn't go well. It said, I'm going to go with other. Describe your issue. Cars.
It didn't work.
Good.
work.
Couldn't car.
Gosh darn sense.
What the heck? Do. Dow. Dow. You guys ever get the Be Our Guest, but the rap version from the sentence stuck in your head?
No.
Oh my god, I forgot all about that.
Well, it's always stuck in my head.
Okay, so the
I wish it
stream
wasn't.
now is solely my hold on one sec. Solely my Google Chrome window. I want everybody to take a look here because this is our.
Did you see the link that I sent you, Jackson? Just on
Yes, we'll get there
texted you.
soon.
Okay, great.
I have a jumping off point here that I want to highlight, which
Okay,
is
cool,
the
cool,
Cars
cool.
wiki. Okay.
Canon.
Hold on one moment.
What's up with the background of this?
It's all those cool,
It looks super bad. I want to take a look at Cars related news, this sidebar. I want to show you just how dire the state of the Cars fandom is, okay? In descending order from
I started reading.
yeah, from least recent to most recent. First, Cars 3 was released in the United States. Cars 3 was announced on digital. Cars 3 was announced on DVD and Blu-ray. Or released, I should say. Disney Toon Studios was shut down on June 28th, thus canceling an untitled Cars Planes spinoff. Katherine Hellman, the voice of Lizzie, was announced on March 1st, 2019 to have died. Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy opened in Sunset Boulevard at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Junior Johnson, voice of Junior Moon, was confirmed to have died. Jerry Stiller was confirmed to have died. Fred Willard was confirmed to have died.
Yeah, it's just
I don't like the phraseology is confirmed to have died.
Yeah. Was hold
Like,
on, let me get this
Jerry
exactly
Stiller
right.
rumored to have died.
Oh boy.
Sorry, not confirmed. It was announced to have died.
okay.
Actually, it's both. It goes back and forth. Either way, weird way to phrase that. So how do you guys feel about just going for random article on the World of Cars wiki?
Let's go for it. Hit that random button.
Random button.
Let's see. Explore random page. Let's see how this goes. Julia Benson. Oh. I guess just did some of the dubbing for the Polish version of Cars 2.
Cool.
Oh,
That's
okay.
Incredible.
Wow, very thorough wiki here.
I mean, yeah.
Quest to earn more.
There's
And
4,000
the Mexican
pages.
version.
Did it say Mexican version?
Yeah, she's
Oh
got
yeah,
Polish
and Mexican, bilingual.
Wow.
Way to go,
Wow,
Julia.
Our
Try
bilingual
even.
queen.
We
And
stand
the
a bilingual
Mandalorian
queen.
season 2.
Oh, no.
Random page. Let's see if we get. This might not be as fruitful as I was hoping it was. We can jump ship. Yuri.
That's my dog's name. My first dog.
This is a character.
Huh.
Ooh boy. Okay, Yuri is a male Russian rally car from the video game Cars Major National Championship.
Oh, cool.
Okay. All right. This is
Did
just
you
Very
guys
funny.
play
good.
the first
Very
Cars
good.
video game?
Say again.
No.
It was actually really good. The Cars, original Cars video game. It was actually very fun. I loved it.
Oh, what platform was it on?
I think it was either GameCube or Wii or both. Probably both.
Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna jump ship here because this is not as funny as I hoped it would be. That's fine though. We're gonna go.
Really?
Let's go Tumblr first.
Wait, hold on. Before you get to Tumblr, can I run and get my Thai food, or is that unprofessional?
Go ahead and go. We're just hanging.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna grab my food. Be right back.
Thai food is unprofessional, though.
We didn't get access to the Discord server that we were hoping because Cade narked on us and told the people in the Discord that we were going to do a stream where we looked at it and they thought we were going to be making fun of them, which we aren't. That's not what this is about. We're exploring. We're explorers. So I just want to say, if anybody from that Cars Discord server is watching, I hope you'll find that we will be appropriately respectful when diving into the Cars fandom.
Be
Maybe
nothing
they
but
just-
respectful.
Maybe they just heard you like dunk on Mark Hamill the last time I
That
was
one
here.
time. Okay, I'm gonna start with Lightning McQueen.
Ka-chow. How old is Lightning McQueen in the first movie? How do cars age?
Okay,
don't know.
so
Doc Hudson's at least like 55 in the
here's
first movie, and that's what the understanding that he was a baby when he was winning a race. But he couldn't have been because Lightning McQueen was the first rookie to ever win the Piston Cup.
Oh,
So
some really good stuff. I'm back. Some really good stuff.
yeah, some really good stuff. Here's the first result on Tumblr when you search for
that's
Lightning
great.
McQueen.
No, that's amazing. That's perfect.
That's real good.
Here
Kachuga.
is. Okay, let's see. Wow, this is a stupendously twinky version of Lightning McQueen. He looks like he's about 11.
No, they're all very twinky, I've noticed.
Here's Cruz Ramirez from Cars 3. They all look too young. Oh, here's them hugging.
So here's the thing
He's a
about
rookie!
humanized versions of things in fandom. They're always white. They're always super skinny.
Mhm.
Yep, and they're all that's this. Those are the two things. They're always they're
Yeah.
always white. They're always super skinny. That's it.
And they got the nose. They got the that Onceler nose.
You know,
What's their nose?
you know how like in other like if a Zootopia version, like a fan drawing, they would have some fox ears and a tail.
Mhm.
Why aren't there headlights
And like a
or
gasket
wheels?
on your tailpipe.
Their eyes just beams of light.
Yeah.
Or at least like
Oh
a
my
spoiler
God.
or
This
something.
is
I
fun.
forgot to mention in our discussion there was actually one really good visual gag in Cars 2, where Mater is going through like this Parisian like flea market, and he goes down this back alley, and he sees that there's like this headlight seller, and he walks up. He's like, "Oh, what do you have?" And this horrifying car comes out, and it looks like the cars from like the mobile like commercials where the
Oh, right.
headlights are the eyes.
Oh.
And it's just exactly like that. He's like, "I'll give you headlights," and then Mater just like freaks out and drives
That's-
away. And
that's
it's
pretty good.
actually just a super good gag.
This one I'm
Well,
looking
this-
at here, I kind of like.
This Tomater's adorable. I love him.
No, this isn't Tomater. This is Lightning.
Is this lightning?
Yeah.
I guess it says Rusty.
That's
He's got
Lightning?
Rusty's, he's got the lightning bolts.
That's
Yeah.
fair, yeah.
The thing that
That's
concerns
cute.
me
That
about
is
it is
not
the fact
how
that
I
he's on all
interpret.
fours here. Which
Yeah.
raises a lot
Yeah.
of questions, but.
That's how they race.
Oh, okay,
It
so
looks like
this
the
is.
dad from Steven Universe.
Yeah, so here's the explanation. I'm
young.
clicking through to the next part of this photo set, and it's this this humanized version of Lightning McQueen running on all fours in a transparent GIF.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, hell
no.
yes.
Oh
Hell
no.
yes.
You're
Hell
gonna have
yes.
to, you're gonna have to wait a second for the stream to catch up to me, but
Fuck yeah, dude! Oh, that's so
I
good!
hate it.
you can't really see
It's like my
it.
nightmares.
It's
Well,
good.
that's
I
what you
can
meant
see
when you
it does.
said.
barely see it. It's so good.
That's what you meant when you said all the cars could just be humans, right? You wanted to
Yeah,
see
that's
them
exactly
do
what
that
I
on the
meant.
track.
Oh my god, the movie would be 10 billion times better if he's doing this and then just both of his legs give out and he has to just like drag himself forward.
And they still all do like refer to each other as cars.
Yeah,
but they're
no.
in human bodies.
All right,
Yeah,
here's
it's just because
the-
we can't comprehend that they're cars.
Here's
Right.
Michael Keaton. I actually like this a
Is
lot.
that Danny Phantom?
Well, okay, so here's the
Phantom.
horniness we've been looking for. This appears to be somebody who is fantasizing about being fucked by Lightning McQueen, I think.
Well, you've seen the like My Strange Addiction where that guy's married to a car, right?
Right.
That's
Sure
what
I
that
know,
looks
but I
like
got
to
you.
me. His name is
Now, see
Chase
that-
the car.
That Danny Phantom one, that's a joke. That's not for real.
Where's the Danny Phantom one?
That's the one where
That's
they
the
get
one
the
that we
bunny
can see
ears
right
and they're
now.
sitting on the
Why
car.
why do you think it's Danny Phantom?
Because
It's
of the
in the
hair.
tag.
He's drawn
Definitely
like
Danny Phantom.
Oh.
It's actually in the tags too.
Awful.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm
Get
concerned
outta
that you
here.
guys could just recognize that as Danny Phantom from that drawing.
What?
That's concerning to me.
It's
What?
see the ship name is Mick Phantom,
so I guess this is even more concerning now.
which is
Now that I'm realizing that this
Jackson,
isn't a
click.
self-insert, it's shipping
the best
Lightning
seasonal
McQueen and
offering
Danny
from
Phantom.
McDonald's, the Mick Phantom.
Jackson, click on the comic of the king and queen.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I kind of was interested to see this.
Yeah, I'm digging the colors a lot.
It won't let me. Oh, here we go.
I feel
You
like
think
I
Chick Hicks is
didn't
racist?
understand. Yeah,
I can't get it to blow up.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I do. Oh, I didn't know about Tumblr enough when I was like 14, and I feel like I really missed out
Yeah, same.
because I don't think I can go back now.
I wish I could expand this because it's good and I actually like it a lot. For some reason, Tumblr won't let me blow it up.
Is that like Winter
Just
Soldier?
click on the post, like the white part.
I'm doing that. It's not letting me. So here's shipping the Army Hammer car from Cars 3 and Lightning McQueen.
Fair.
Timothy Chalamet Peach Car?
What?
What?
Excuse
Timothy
me?
Chalamet and Army Hammer.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's
That's
good.
what
I
that
like
looks
the
like.
I like the ponytail.
See, I really like this guy's Chick Hicks.
With like the short hair.
Yeah. It's a fun mustache dad Chick Hicks. Could look more like Michael Keaton, but I'll reserve criticism.
Yeah, no, because like, yeah, I really like the Chick Hicks.
I have
I
noticed
I think
that...
it looks like Chick Hicks though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does look like Chick. I like the Lightning McQueen too. I feel like that one kind of looks like.
How come nobody's drawing Mater as a human?
Yeah,
No,
nobody's
it's
going
'cause-
for Mater.
It's because we all know he just looks like Caleb.
Like Larry the Cable
Caleb,
Guy, yeah.
Guy.
Cable guy.
I want to see some Tumblrized fan art of Larry the Cable Guy.
I think we just can't make him hot. I just don't. We can't draw him as a skinny white boy, so he's not here.
I think that's limited thinking that Tomater
this one.
can't be hot.
I kind of like the ones that have both a regular version and a humanized version in the same image. I think that's
Yeah,
fun.
like that's nice. Create an
I like the
image.
total drama one.
Yeah, I keep
I think
ignoring
that's
that
it.
one. Would you like me to zero in?
No, I don't think it's necessary.
Okay.
Oh, look at that TV.
Yeah,
Zero
I feel like
latency.
I've seen this before. There was definitely a time where they were just selling this at Target, and I had to look at it more than a few times.
Yeah, this fan art there's really cute. He's got like the pointy nose. And
Yeah.
the car's cute.
I'm gonna see what we have to do to get a Tomater. Oh, here's one.
Maybe.
What do we have to do?
What do we have to do?
to get Tomater fan art?
We
Please.
But
can't
I-
expand this one
That's
either. I'm
anthropomorphic.
mad.
I like
Here
the
we go.
older Lightning.
Oh, so this person's drawing a comic about what if the cars turned into people and they were freaked out by
That's
it.
like that My Little Pony when the ponies became people.
Yeah.
I still own that movie. I have it. I can physically hold it in my hands right now.
What a blessing.
Oh, they become skaters. Oh,
That's
fuck.
fun.
This is
Roller
a
derby.
this is
Roller
a
derby.
Kingdom Hearts
Why is he-
crossover also.
Oh hell yeah!
Fuck yeah.
Ian, get
Sora's-
in on this.
Sora's teaching them how to skateboard.
Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, that rules.
I mean, they don't really
Oh,
know
yeah,
how
man.
to drive, so it makes sense that they'd turn to skateboarding.
Oh, dude,
Oh,
that
man.
skateboard. Fuck yeah. You know Sora knows how to do like kick flips and shit.
Yeah.
I'm all signed up for this concept.
God, it's really good. Why did you? What a dork wearing a full racing helmet while skateboarding though.
Okay, here's Lightning McQueen from Cars. Fucks to survive.
Yeah, we all know.
No,
So that's fun.
no.
Oh,
I'm
whoa.
against it.
This is like somebody's like Carsona,
Oh.
which is actually pretty sick. I kind of like this actually. Leroy Hemming. He's got like a little European mustache. That's fun.
That's fun.
That's pretty good.
Oh, that
I'm
guy's
impressed.
hot as hell.
Yeah, man.
So it's a Carsona, but a
And
human.
a human AU.
This
Yeah.
just
Is a
seems to be
human
this just seems to be a post that's like a
Carsona.
bunch of different art stuff sort of dumped.
Cool.
So it's not all Cars stuff.
It was for the canceled Cars 4.
What is this?
I think that's.
Oh, that's just the posters for Cars 3.
They got
How
a
do
lot of.
cars procreate?
I thought that was Tony Stark and Captain America for like a split second.
Do cars procreate? How
I
do
don't
they
think
get new
I
cars?
don't think they do. So here's some good
Where do new
stuff.
cars come from?
I saw some Danganronpa, and we're just gonna scroll right past it. No, Jack, don't go back up. Keep going.
You're reacting to things that I have done approximately 15 seconds ago. Headlines.
Yeah, no, that's not. That's your fault.
So this is some good stuff.
If the sound of me eating Thai food is ever gross, please tell me.
Is that a pillow pet?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yep.
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Thrifty, thrifty.
I kind of remember seeing those actually. I don't like it in pillow form though. That's really horrifying.
Okay, so here's a post that has Sonic the Hedgehog mansplaining to somebody that he's a Cars stan.
Perfect.
Don't talk to me,
I
fool.
wonder.
I'm a Cars stan and a Lightning McQueen fan. You think you know more than me? I have to laugh. My knowledge of the Cars franchise is far more than superior to yours.
Stop making fun of
Amazing.
Dan like that.
I'm honored. What do you guys think the most, like, the best-selling Cars merchandise is, and why do you think it's not like an actual toy car?
Is this a question? Is this
here's
a
my
question you're
answer.
like quizzing us on, or are we just discussing?
It's just a discussion because
it
we all
what-
know it can't actually just be a toy car of Lightning McQueen. Like that can't be the best-selling Cars merchandise, could it?
Best selling,
I don't know.
my guess is gonna be a t-shirt.
Or like a
Mine
phone
would be
case?
like
product?
children's bedding, like a comforter and like pillowcases.
Yeah.
I like this.
Isn't
Best
that wild
product
that it's not a toy
created?
car?
I really
Yeah.
like this copy pasta here. It says, "This is the money car. Reblog in 95 seconds to have the utmost amount of money and fortune come your way."
That's really good.
When I was 16, I worked for my church's daycare, and we had 3 Lightning McQueens. This was like around when Cars 2 came out, and I can't
Mhm.
tell you how much work it is to not get 5-year-old boys to cry or like to keep them from crying because someone else is playing with Lightning McQueen right now, and like creating a schedule so that Lightning
my God.
McQueen makes the rounds. They needed more. Why didn't we have more Lightning
Whoa.
McQueens?
Wow.
Okay, so there's a lot to unpack in this post, which you guys will see momentarily.
I saw
You were red and you liked me because I was blue. Get out of here.
Beautiful, perfect.
don't-
I love it.
Don't
So
need it.
I'm trying to figure out why Ramon is there.
It's because it's
Because he's
because he's
purple.
purple.
Because he's purple, I get that, but just in the context of this fiction, what is
Okay, well,
that?
so the lyrics of the song is like, we fell in love, we were very different people, and I changed for you, but you didn't like the way that I changed, so you left me, and I felt cheated by it.
Right.
That is
Here's
not
what
the
I'm getting
situation of Sally and Lightning's relationship,
Yeah.
though, because they
Here's
stayed
the fact-
together.
Here's the subtext that I'm picking up.
Yeah.
Is that when Sally ran away from Los Angeles, which exists in the Cars
Right,
universe,
right. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Ramon was already married to Flo. But then
Yeah.
Ramon fell in love with this new girl. She has all this energy. She's from the big city. She's a Porsche. She has a tattoo. And they had a secret love affair. But Ramon wouldn't leave wouldn't leave Flo for Sally. But then Lightning McQueen shows up, and Ramon's changed his mind, but it's already too late. They can't rekindle what they had before, so now he's just stuck in a loveless marriage.
Mm.
Or
Interesting.
it's just
Did
that
you
he's
guys see the
purple.
picture I
Or
tweeted
cute,
at you
though.
guys?
Oh no, not instantly.
Hold on.
Tweeted. Out. Wicked.
Did
Dexter,
you
can you
tweet it to
please
the
find the artist of the
Nerdist
one that
Allowed
I
account?
sent you? Because I haven't decided what the energy of that picture is.
Okay. I will do my best.
UFO! No, it's not a UFO.
It's the USS Enterprise, which is pretty good.
It's the USS Enterprise.
It was really good.
Okay, give me just a second here. Okay, so here's the one that Adeline found, which
It's
is
like,
just odd. I don't like when they make Lightning McQueen look like he's 14 years old, because he's a professional race car driver.
yeah. Well, he's the
It's
rookie,
true.
so they're like, oh, young.
Right, he should be like 25.
Yeah. Well, so here's
That's
the thing.
actually pretty old for a race car driver.
I can't decide if that is homoerotic or if it's supposed to be like fatherly love. You know, I can't.
A little bit of both, baby.
The hand on
Yeah.
the waist is very homoerotic.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
No, I think this is definitely.
I
a
don't think my
shipping-
father has ever hugged me that way.
Yeah.
This is definitely a
Oh,
shipping
gosh.
post.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going back into just the Tumblr search, and I'm going for Mater. I want to see what dregs we can dredge up for just Mater.
Listen, I get though. Like, young Paul Newman can get it. Old Paul Newman probably also could get it. And
Probably.
he's got salsa for days. Salsa daddy, not sure.
Carter in the chat says that Doc Hudson looks like Markiplier. Which is apt. Very funny.
Yeah, he didn't look like Paul Newman, which is why he wasn't as sexy. Thank you
Okay,
very much.
here's
I
a
stand by
Mater.
what I say.
Here's a Mater, which is fine.
Oh my God! Look at that Disney bound outfit.
Oh right, yeah, the Mater outfit.
It's so good.
Hey, but person of color.
Yeah, well, that Cars 3 fan art, they've got a Lightning McQueen that is a skinny white boy. That's good.
I
Look
haven't
at that. That's
seen
progress,
a
people.
take on Mater that has excited me yet. Here's another
No.
Disney bound outfit for Mater. There's two of them. In
They're
case
really
you're
good.
looking to go out as Mater sometime.
That's a pretty cute outfit,
The
though.
the little overalls and the blue shirt, pretty good.
It's a good color combo.
Oh, here's
Some
another one
baby
from that
blue and the
person that we
brown.
really liked. I like their Mater. Their Mater does just look like Larry the
hat?
Cable Guy.
Yeah, because Mater as a human is just Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah, it's literally
That's-
just.
yeah. Absolutely.
That's really good.
What
That's-
about
God, I
NASCAR?
love this
NASCAR?
person. What about NASCAR?
You right.
Wait, so here's the thing about Disney bounding. My understanding was that you're not allowed to like cosplay or dress up at the Disney parks as an adult because they are controlling the brand of the character and you're going to see the characters.
Right.
So like if another person is dressed up like Rapunzel or whatever and they're going around saying fuck and punching people, then that's bad for Disney because you're not representing the brand.
Right.
But so
Well, also,
shouldn't I
you're
be
not
able
getting-
to cosplay as Tow Mater though? Because I'm not going to look like the car that they have that drives around. No one's going to confuse me for the real Tow Mater, you know? Why
Well,
can't I
I
wear
think
my
it's-
Tow Mater cosplay?
I think it's a lot of people, like Disney doesn't want you taking pictures with people who aren't making money for your business.
Is anybody?
But I'm not taking money away because the pictures are free. You already paid to get into the park.
But
Is
you're
it-
like waiting in line to go take a picture with the talking cars.
But I'm
I
not
mean-
the
So then
talking
say
car.
happy
I'm
birthday to
just,
you.
I'm just
You could take
in the
advantage of a
racing
lot of tourists before you get caught. Like,
That's
oh, I
also
dressed up
fair.
as Cinderella. Yes, pictures are
Yeah.
$1 each.
That's fair.
Um,
That's fair.
And then, like, yeah, a lot of people would still just pay for it.
Or yeah,
'cause they're
like
not supposed
a
to take
5-year-old
tips or
wouldn't know the
anything.
difference.
Yeah.
But I think the what happens with the Mater cosplay is nobody will ever know because that's a buck wild assumption to make. Like, wait a
That's
minute,
fair.
are you cosplaying as Tow Mater?
Oh, holy
Yeah.
shit! I just
Says
found my
Tow
favorite
Mater-
piece of Cars fan art I've ever seen. Oh my god!
Oh, we have to wait for it.
You have to wait for it.
The
It's
Tow
so
Mater
good,
color
though.
scheme, though. It's the same as Cinderella when she's a maid.
Oh my god, you're right.
Oh, ghost car. The ghost light.
Ah, fuck yeah, dude.
The ghost light was Doc all along.
He's
Visiting
fucking
Doc
dead.
Hudson's grave.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
well,
I
there are
misunderstood for a
cars.
second. I thought that was Lightning McQueen's stand.
Uh,
I thought this was JoJo's fan art.
Jojo. Oh my god.
Is anybody within the sound of my voice active on DeviantArt? What does DeviantArt feel like these days?
I think it feels like this, Jackson. I think we know what it feels like. I don't think DeviantArt's really changed that much.
Is this
Feels
Legos?
just like how it's supposed to.
What's this? What am I looking at here?
Like, Brother Bear, I see you in there with the cars, people.
We're
I
just
don't know what this
totally
is, but
ignoring
it's
the
so sick.
hoverboard that's Lightning McQueen.
Well,
and
hold on. I'm
honestly,
looking at something else now. This is I love this caption.
Yeah, I'm
that
ignoring
says,
it for Brother Bear.
Lightning McQueen and Sir Tomater.
Cars.
It's like Mad
He was
Max AU cars. It's pretty sick.
it is pretty sick.
You know he is knighted at the end of Cars 2. Mater.
Oh, is he? So he
Yeah,
is Sir
absolutely.
Tomater. Okay, so let's go in and see what Adeline wanted to look at, which was this evolution line for Lightning McQueen.
Yeah.
From McFly to McQueen to McGatron.
I just remembered I had strawberry ice cream.
McFly.
Ah, hell yeah.
So ready.
Okay, so
Oh,
here's
they made a
some
Pokemon.
Pixar Avengers Endgame and Infinity War fan art, which is interesting.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Oh, here's the cars as horses.
Yeah.
I
No,
meant to
it's
ask
different
that
than- wait.
too.
Is it the same person who did Cars as Dragons?
I doubt it.
Oh
Okay.
fuck yeah, dude.
Weird.
There's a lot of horse fan art I'm seeing.
Okay. I'm gonna take a look at
the
this
horse has a mustache.
user. See how much cars as horses they have.
I like
What
the
if the
movie
cars were
Spirit.
horses?
It's fun.
What if there were cars? And what if those cars were
It's a
horses?
metaphor for colonialism.
What if the plot was entirely the same, but the cars were horses?
It would work.
So
you could
they-
do it.
No, they have to do the drifting too.
Yeah.
They have to
never
learn how to
drifted on
drift.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
horse knows how to run in the dirt.
No,
That's
but
the
they
thing,
don't
that's
know
what
how to
humans know how to run in
drift.
dirt.
I want them to drag their hooves and do a cool skid.
Can you search within somebody's
I truly
profile?
do not know. I have never been on DeviantArt.
Okay. I'm gonna abandon ship there, but just know whoever you are, just keep rocking it.
Oh,
with
I know
the
this
cars as
artist.
horses. You do?
I've
Not
seen this
personally, but I've
artist.
seen their art
Right,
around.
you know of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. I have not seen
There's
this
more.
spirit. I have a feeling the spirit cars I use is very old. I have a feeling.
I don't know if I'm a fan. I'm gonna be honest.
Let's see. Okay, here's some stuff I'd rather not look at.
But that's what we gotta look at, Jackson.
No, like
That chowder in cars. It is. Don't click on it. There's a lot of furry boobs.
Here's gender bent Lightning McQueen.
Oh, you right. I see what you're talking about
Oh,
now.
look,
Yeah.
the bugs.
Oh my.
I'll hover for a
Yeah, the
moment on
bugs,
this.
and there's all of the cars about to kiss,
Yeah, uh-huh.
which is really good.
Oh,
Oh no, I like the
Corgi?
little Lightning
Corgi?
McQueen fan art with the little heart that some 12-year-old did. That's really cute.
It's pretty good stuff.
Wow, Lightning McQueen as a whammon.
As Rapunzel.
Yeah.
That's literally just Rapunzel.
Oh, I found another dragon!
Yeah, you found
I
another
did
dragon!
it! Oh, fuck yes! This one's Lightning McQueen. There's a bunch! Ooh, I found a bunch of them!
Oh, did you find?
Yes! God damn it, yes!
Wait, we looked on
Bingo.
DeviantArt and we didn't find them.
Yeah, we just needed the
There
perfect...
it is! Yeah! Fuck yes!
Okay, so here's Lightning McQueen.
Why
Here's
is
Doc
Lightning
Hudson.
McQueen so serious? Why
He's
so
Is he
angry
doing
he's
a lip
getting
bite?
in.
about being a dragon?
Okay,
Oh my
here's...
God.
I am speed.
Oh.
I don't know
Fuck yeah,
who these
dude.
guys are. Maybe they're from another...
They're probably OCs.
That looks like the dragon from the Barbie
Yes,
Rapunzel movie.
there's Doc Hudson. Yeah.
Here, okay, so here's just one with wings. It's one of the lowriders from this movie.
I want mustached Chick Hicks
I
dragon.
want
Yeah.
mustache dragon man.
I
Please.
think there's only a few. Here's one with
Just
a horse,
just
a horse spirit.
Jackson,
quick
how many
notes.
subscribers do we have to get before you get that Doc Hudson tattoo of the dragon
With
tattoo?
the dragon.
Yeah.
I could be the boy with the dragon tattoo, but it's actually cars.
The Cars
Well,
dragon.
Just quick notes. If we're going by D&D rules, and Lightning McQueen is a red dragon, that means Lightning McQueen is chaotic evil.
Oh.
I mean,
That's
yeah.
his alignment.
This person has a lot of cars art, and they're all very squinty.
Mm-hmm.
This one, okay,
Yeah, 'cause
this
they're
one has an
getting
ear
into the-
piercing on their rearview mirror, which I think
Fuck
is worth
yeah.
noting.
Fuck yeah.
I
Hell
don't
yeah,
think
yeah,
that
they do.
honestly that lines up. Also,
Are they-
one time in the movie, Sally looks back in her rearview mirror at Lightning, but her eyes are in front of the
Yeah,
mirror,
that's
so she
true.
can't
Yeah,
look
you
back in
can't
it.
do that.
I just want answers. That's all.
Okay,
this
so we
person
did
need
it.
the
We
mouse
found the
for
other
that place?
dragons. There weren't
There's
as
not
many
as
as I had
many.
hoped,
but
but there were more
I
than
wanted one for
just the
everybody.
one.
Like, go to
It's
to see if we
decently
can commission
niche.
them.
Yeah, maybe I will.
Yeah, go to their page. Ask for a Doc Hudson dragon.
Here's
I want a Chick Hicks dragon.
they do a lot of dragons and a lot of furries and a lot of cars.
And
All
some
my favorite
sand
things.
pines.
Yeah.
But don't we all?
Let's see. I want
There's also furries on a plane, which is my new pitch for the next hit Christmas film.
Sequel to Snakes on a Plane.
Yeah, like it's furries on a plane.
Oh God.
But
makes
their
me
like
upset.
commission info should be like right up at the top, right?
Let's see. I can send them a note.
Oh, munched by Tomater.
I got no idea how DeviantArt works.
Yeah, me neither. I'd have to make a fucking account. I'll just make a note of this.
And we'll think about it.
I'm gonna send this. Well, I'll deal with it off stream.
How to Train Your
Damn, this
Dragon, but all
picture
the
of you
dragons
being
are
eaten by
cars.
Mater is really
Oh.
good. I just saw it.
Perfect.
Thank you.
I
So
like
did
How to
you
Train Your
put
Dragon.
your foot in Tomater's mouth, or did a cast member do that for you?
I did that.
Okay, gotcha.
Did you need help?
No, he
Did-
was
did a cast
straight
member
up
help
trying
you?
to eat him.
He drove up on me.
He seems like a vicious truck. Like
Yeah, those
Okay.
teeth look
down-
like they hurt.
I'm going for Mater
Did he
now.
tell you
I
how to
survived. And
Here I am.
I may have lost
But
one
how many
foot,
feet
but
do you have?
I've gained a tire.
Here's another. Oh, this person has a lot of
It
cars.
turned me into
You're
a
the
weremater.
This person has a lot
That's
of
the
cars
dream.
Pokemon evolution lines that are kind of fun.
Oh fuck yeah.
Oh,
I
looks like
don't
they have
like
just, like a lot of different Pixar
Two-tire
characters.
Mater. I am not a fan of two-tire Mater.
Oh, here's Rusty from
There's
Plains,
something wrong.
or Dusty from Plains. Excuse
Mhm.
Yeah, if he was rusty, he'd have leprosy.
me.
We've established.
So he's a crop duster, not a
I
crop
never saw
ruster.
planes.
We
I don't
should
think
do
anybody
You
Plains.
saw
call yourself
Planes.
a Cars fan?
Here's an
Yeah,
evolution
I'm a
line.
Cars
I
for
fan.
hate
Little.
it. I hate it. I hate Dusty.
So this is okay. This is an evolution line for Chicken Little from the film Chicken Little.
Fuck yeah.
And the names are Ego, Chicken Little, and Chicken Bigo.
God, that's my rapper name.
Chicken
My
Bigo.
SoundCloud rapper
Chicken
name.
Fuck, that
Bigo.
rules.
Chicken Bigo.
Is that better than Lil Kaiju?
Look at you.
Keisha, we can't bleep it. It's live.
She didn't say the thing we actually have to beep.
Jackson.
Don't say it.
Okay. Do we feel sated? Do we feel sufficiently that we've
I
I
explored?
like Lil
I don't.
Dawson.
I feel stuffed. I feel.
Any
I know,
final
we
terms
found-
I should search on DeviantArt before we call it a night?
We found more dragons.
Well-
I'm completely satisfied.
I just remembered something that confused me again about the Cars universe. Is that
Mhm.
why did they need to have attorneys and doctors? And
They're
are
still
there
doing their own
electricians?
thing.
I
Are-
mean, you
what
definitely
other-
And
need
we've
attorneys.
established that you can kill another car, so of course we need attorneys.
Well,
I
I
can
mean,
see why.
lightning
Okay,
does all
when
that
you,
property damage.
Yeah.
that's
Does.
true. But like, is there car law school?
Fuck,
I don't
this
think any of the
drawing.
cars go to school.
Carlumbia?
I
If there's
think that the
car
knowledge is
Jesus,
built
there's
into
car
them.
law school.
So what you're saying is cars don't have free will then. They have to be lawyers if they've been built to be lawyers.
Hold
I
on,
never
are
said that I think that the
Porsches-
cars have free will.
Wow. Are Porsches
Well,
built to be lawyers? Is that what we're saying?
yeah,
This one's good.
what's
I like
the
this
deal?
drawing.
That's how I feel. I honestly I think that they're built with these roles that they can fit. Sometimes they can choose other roles that are compatible, but I think for the most part they don't have a whole lot of free will.
Do cars have like a divergent kind of ceremony where if they walk up and like spill oil on whatever faction they want to be part of?
Oh my god, I just forgot that Mater pisses himself in Cars 2.
I
No,
feel like
no,
I
remember,
that
someone
somehow.
frames him for pissing, remember?
Yeah.
There's a whole piss plot.
I
It's a
still
piss
think-
plot.
I still
Yeah.
think this picture of Lightning McQueen weeping over Doc Hudson's grave is
Yeah.
as good as we're gonna get.
It
This
was
is
maybe the best one.
exactly
Just
what I was
perfect.
hoping for.
Yeah.
That's how we all feel.
Okay.
Wait, was that Doc Hudson as a
It's sad.
John from Steven Universe?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
I think that's what that was.
already
I'm going
clicked
to
away.
believe that's what that was.
Okay, thank you guys for hanging out with us. It's been a lot of fun looking around. We should just maybe this should be a tradition. Maybe we should just click around on DeviantArt for a few minutes after every stream.
Yeah, just see what we can find. Sometimes
I
we'll
want
find
to see what
dragons.
RoboCop art there is.
yeah,
Oh my
that'd be
god.
cool. We can't
I
do
would
it now.
love-
We'll save it for later when we do RoboCop.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, thank you guys, and thank you, Dan. Thank you for showing up.
Yeah.
Thank
We
you for having me. It's always a
appreciate-
blast.
That you like us well enough to talk about cars for fucking 3 hours.
The feeling is mutual.
It was nice to meet you over voice, Dan.
Yeah, it's very nice to meet you too. I hope to talk to you guys again.
Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna end the stream. I'm gonna do it. So help me God, it's gonna happen. Okay.
Just do it.
Done.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Goodbye. End stream.
Bye.
Yes. Okay,
Please.
it's been done.
Yeah.